Greetings, everyone, or hello, y'all, and welcome to another edition of Black Men Being Brutally Honest. If you're watching from inside the Facebook group, yep, this is my first time broadcasting in a Facebook group I've had for nearly 6 years. Black Men Being Brutally Honest with everyone. So, just if you want your comments to be read, then do exactly as that caption says, and give us permission to make your comments public. And I promise you, you'll be respected. Promise you. Yeah, promise. All right. We got a super chat from Charles D. Curry. I appreciate that, bruh. I appreciate it. Thank you. And, I appreciated your comment from the broadcast last night as well. We got Toya in the house. And as I said, we got a Facebook user. If you want your name to be acknowledged, go ahead and give Facebook permission to do that. But if you want your privacy kept, then hey, I respect that as well. But your comments will be treated the same as if someone who wants to show their name. So yeah, so just for Facebook purposes, since it is my first time broadcasting from inside the group, uh I am Kev Esther. Yes, I created the original, and historically the best Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone Facebook group. And I have to say that by a lot of the truths that I told in that group, what I consider to be truths, because I'm just like this. You can't argue against the fact. Sorry. No matter how you may try, you will fail. You know, the group hasn't been a real idea place. Before I get to the subject matter, because I didn't name this shit Son-Husbandry, Simping, Cuckoldry, and Emasculation for nothing. I didn't name it that. So just wanted to say a few things to you guys. Yeah, I had some good intent for that group, but is sometimes you really underestimate the fuckery levels of our people. So the group became was is what it is, and basically today the group is dead. It is. There's a few people that are posting comment every now and again, but it's not like when the group was at its height. People say flame burns brightest right before it goes out. And I just believe that group was kind of a quick flame. Yeah, it had its height. We had our good times, our bad times, our funny times, but I gained an ugly reputation. I got people that they say they don't care, but they hate me to this day because of the things that I've said to them. And it's just mostly because I won't back down, I won't concede, especially when you're being disrespectful. How do you expect to stay in a group owner's group if you're disrespectful to his family? Sometimes we go a little far with that shit. So um anyway, it's whatever from this point. I could try to revamp the group one last time. I will probably start broadcasting live a little bit more inside the group itself. And anyone that wants to participate can participate. Anyone that doesn't, hey, that's on you. But 22,000 people in one spot, 22,000 members, and let's downplay the fake profiles that are in this group. I would probably say a solid 18,000, maybe 19,000. You know, so that's for the Facebook people. I appreciate the ones that did stick around, even the ones I don't agree with. I appreciate you guys. Now let me talk to my YouTube, and I've been broadcasting for 4 years in this group. I mean, on this YouTube channel, I've been having this YouTube channel since 2018, and the support mostly came from YouTube. I would say Facebook and YouTube are two totally different worlds. And that was one thing that I didn't realize till I started a YouTube channel. Things were kind of tough, and the sometimes sometimes I would the thought of giving up would enter in my head as to what I'm actually doing here on social media. Do I have an actual purpose, or am I just biding my time and shooting the shit? And I would say that there's purpose, because if one thing is, you don't believe in yourself, nobody has to believe in you, and that's what it is. I have to continue to be self motivated and all this. All right, so let's get to it. Before I get started on this ramp, let's have a little reminder of what kind of makes us men somewhat a little bit. Our attraction and desire for women. And this right here is one hell of a woman right here. Now, for those of you who don't know who that is AEW performer wrestler Jade Cargill. Yep. Wow. And according to their kayfabe storyline, she's an undefeated champion. So, just be proud they would give that much props to a black person. But yeah, outside of that, she is beautiful. Yes, she is. All right, so look at that for another 2 seconds, and let's get to the topic a little bit. Let's get to the topic. All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. One thing I noticed about social media is the presence of the black man is not very respected, and there may be some reasons to legitimize that. Because you do have some weirdos out there. I mean, run across plenty of weirdos on social media. You know, some guys that you don't know why they exist. Basically, you don't know why you don't know why they have a purpose for even being there. And it's very easy to be dismissive of such weirdo characters if they just shut the fuck up. But that's just my thing. We give these people a platform. We give these people a platform to speak, just like I gave people a platform to speak, and all kinds of shit can happen. You have weirdos. You have stalkers. You have people who want to dox, and I always got rid of those people. I never liked doxers. I was like, that's a coward's way out. You can't use your wits and your intelligence to beat someone, so you have to humiliate them. Like people to the point, it was to the point where people like would get mad with each other and start dropping locations and start setting up fights. And I was like, I can't be a part of that. Cause see, my thing was I was always afraid of a lawsuit where I was going to be implicated because somebody got together and did some stupid shit. So I always did disclaimers. Like I do disclaimers on YouTube. You don't have to listen to me per se as far as doing what I tell you to do, because I am the one that can acknowledge that some people have better ideas than me. But hey, if you come here, I think it's a good idea. So let's talk about the subject matter. And yep, thank you for being in the chat, Charles Curry, Toya, and Facebook user. Okay. Yeah. So Son-Husbandry, Simping, Cuckoldry, Emasculation, the destruction of manhood. Now, this is not a conversation. This is not a monologue. I would say to beat up on women who participate in systems that disadvantage the man, because there's a lot of that going on in this space we call the black manosphere anyway. There's a lot of that going on. I could say that for another broadcast. But usually, generally, when I go at people, I try to make it a kind of a non-discriminatory level both genders, whatever we're responsible for, whatever we're accountable for. But, you know, a lot of this is directed toward, you know, the fellas. And the reason that is because, you know, and I'm not looking for particular individuals to get better. I'm not looking for particular individuals to, you know, to come to the light, I would say. I wasn't, you know. And I should have made that very clear last night when I had my little pre-record going. Yep, that was pre-recorded, and I would have loved to respond to the comments. And you know, I thank you, Mr. Me Too. I saw your 2 super chats. Really appreciate the support. You know, if he listens to the replay, hopefully, you know, he'll be able to hear me say this. Yeah, because you know, any financial support is great. You know, Cash App, Super Chat. It's not something that I obligate people to do. It's not something I'm going to ask you to do every few minutes. But hey, you know what? When you're trying to set up a production here, you know, sometimes you know we need help with that. Especially you know some of us who have families and all who go against the grain to do this every week, every couple days. You know, putting out content. That's actual work. And you know, we're not pretty women, so we don't get, you know, guys like me don't get the luxury of prancing around in a good outfit and you know getting 5 and 10,000 likes and you know having women talking about some what's your cash app because you know because you know that doesn't happen with men. You know we have to establish value in our content, the things that we say, our you know our actual presentation as people. You know, long time ago, people was like, well, you know, you're not probably not going to do as good as say a woman on YouTube because you don't have a pair of boobs. And I was like, well, that's kind of an excuse a little bit because I would say all you have to do is be likable and relatable. You know, that's all you gotta be. It ain't some it ain't some competition to see how much you can disappoint yourself. I mean, you gotta try. I say at the end of all of these shows, when you don't give up, you win. And that's exactly what I set out to do. I set out to win. Period. And I know that I'm gonna win with very few at my side. If that. I gotta be prepared to win this whole thing alone. But you know, not one man can't do it alone. So I'm asking myself to do the impossible. Be a black man who actually has a high amount of approval. And I'm not saying that for fifis. I'm saying that because you have to have a high amount of approval in order to thrive in spaces such as these. You know, people were like, well, why don't you focus on your real job? And then I would turn around and say, I am focused on my real job, you idiot. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. What is going on? Thanks for showing up once again. And then he says, how can a man call himself a man when he is simping? And it's that simple. Simps think of themselves as if they automatically side with women, that's going to make them more of a man. That's going to make them more of a heterosexual, so per se. That you know these guys have been browbeat and pushed around and harassed and uh, you know called a bitch more so than many times, and they develop this fear, they develop this shame, and you know, in order to keep those kinds of thoughts away, you know, they have to validate themselves. They have to over explain themselves to females. They have to make sure that when people are messing, you know, when they're dissing black men, that they have to have females watching them. You know, so those women will validate their manhood, even though, uh, even though you know they're wrong. They're a means to an end. These guys don't have any hope of getting or of getting any pussy through a commute through a computer screen. They don't have any hope of that. No matter how much they try, no matter how many things they say. Because, see, one thing I will say about simps is they are the least remembered. They are only there to cause a distraction. And then once they outlive their purpose, these females will go back to saying stuff like, "Ah, no one has our backs." You're not appreciated, simp. You're not. And that's what I be trying to tell. But I don't expect guys to side with me right offhand because we have, I don't know, I guess bigger issues than what I'm about to talk about. But this sure is a contributing factor. The thing is, I'm trying to say is this is a few of the reasons why black men can't get it together. And it ain't the reasons all y'all want it to be. These black men are just out here trying to kill each other. I mean, I think every time someone says that, that reasoning is bullshit because it's not that you genuinely care. You use it as a straw man argument. It's a straw man argument. So, yeah. Hybrid said the picture on the screen is sad. Yeah, that shadow clad picture on the screen is sad because most men will do that. When I say stuff like most men, especially black men, are simps, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking about that. I truly believe that. Not to say that hybrid is one. Not to say that the not to say that some of my mutual friends are a simp just because they're dudes, but it's just ingrained in us. Some of us see it as protection when it really isn't. I mean, protection is making sure that your family, your home, uh, and the people that you care about, you make sure that you build this wall of fortification for them. It's not screaming at people and further dividing yourselves on whatever social media platform, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, Facebook. And I understand no one likes to be bored. You know, everybody likes to treat these places like arenas and coliseums, no pun intended. Like they're going to the Saturday night's main event or some shit like that. And I do understand. But the big problem with that is once it happens, you're highly entertained by it, and then you'll complain about how black people are divided. Yeah, I guess one of my purposes here is to point out hypocrisy. But anyway, hope everybody coming in, you're pressing like. Those are for the people on YouTube. For the people on Facebook, look for the YouTube channel Black Men Being Brutally Honest and migrate there. Even shoot me another sub if you like. I mean, when I first started the YouTube channel, many people in the Facebook group were telling me no. They were telling me no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna contribute to a black woman bashing platform. And I'm sitting up there like, no, if we really hated black women and this was a black woman hate group, no black women would be here. You know, that's like the KKK having a black chapter or a Latino chapter. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. We're not a hate group. Hey, hybrid, you kind of going in down there a little bit. Simps keep OnlyFans whores employed. Then he said most black men are simps. I used to be one a long time ago. Had to get my head out of my ass. Me too, man. Me too. Me too. Because I was told the lie of persistence. If I kept trying and I kept trying, I was gonna get the girl. You know, save up your money, take her out on some dates where you spending a little bit. I had actual grown men tell me that shit for real. Like, like Facebook user, long live the habitual line steppers. All right, long live Facebook user. Like I said, you got to go on your settings. You got to give Facebook permission to show your name. But like I said, if you don't want to do that, hey, yeah. Let's see. Hyra said most black men were raised and conditioned to be simp ass boys men to men ass niggas. Thankfully, brothers are waking up. Charles D. Curry, we was all simps. Yeah, I mean, especially some of us older ones, and most of our fathers. Hell, shoot. It just like I said, I was told the lie of persistence. I was taking suggestions from men, like you would think like just because these men, he has this woman on his arm, there's a thing or two he can teach me. My suggestion to young men is to just jump in that water and swim. You're the only one that can find out what works for you. A lot of this simping was from a bunch of bad advice given to us by older men, and for that reason, and a few others, I believe this is why the younger generation resents the older generation. A bunch of bad ideas. All right, so so got to talk about some examples of son husbandry because son husbands, that's the next step and the next evolution is like Terminator going from the T-800 to the T-1000. That shit's about to become liquid. Mm, yeah, that's the conditioning, though. Is like I said, Patrice O'Neill said it best. Everything we're in a society where everything women do is seen as good, and everything men do is seen as bad. And when you're a black man, hey, that goes pretty fucking extra. It goes extra. And I mean, like, not trying to make us all into victims, but it is what it is. Yeah. So, if you were looking at my community tab earlier, you saw that I posted a picture of it would look like a kid that was barely 2, 3 years old pumping gas. So don't be shocked by the image that you're about to see. Um, so let me flip to it. And a son husband is an actual thing. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. This is the image. And the woman that's next to the picture, the picture to the right, you're probably gonna guess correctly as to who she is. And you can't keep continuing to say shit like, is that we hate these women because we point stuff like this out. You know, this is I'm just letting you peek into the mentality of bitches who say shit like this. You know. So let me read. This morning my baby said, "Ma, let me pump your gas. You'll never need a man as long as you got me. I'm your man. I love you and I promise to be better than what was taught to me. Hear me when I say you won't need a man for nothing." Y'all, I cried. He made my day. Follow my IG at Holly with two Y's Hefner. So that's what I did. I went to her Instagram page and I found this picture. It doesn't show her face. So it doesn't show her face. But like I said, man, the first thing that popped up into my head was, who impregnated this? What? Why? Why? Even like I read a comment in my community tab saying that it's illegal for preteens to pump gas, and younger to pump gas. So if she's in a state that's like that, which I don't believe any of this, the intention of this post at all. I think she just took a picture with her son holding the gas pump. I don't like this kid hands ain't strong enough to keep that gas pump squeezed or to figure out that there's a lock on there. Like, But let me tell you something. These types, the ones that be like, she's mad at the baby daddy. That's all it is. She probably got mad. She probably got in an argument with him, and then she decided to do this emotionally charged bullshit post that makes her look like a groomer, makes her look like an abuser. Because this is definitely abusive. Hell, I will never make my kid pump my gas and say some stupid shit. And I have a daughter, so say some stupid shit like, "Oh man, she don't believe in all them stereotypes. She know how to pump her own gas. She know how to get her own and do her own. I cried the whole day. Oh, nigga. Let kids be kids. Stop dragging kids into your bullshit. Especially when you're doing poses like this. Like, damn. Mothers just ain't mothers no more. Go out embarrassed out of bed if my mother did this. My mother was far more mature than these ones today, so when I find a guy who impregnated that heifer, I would hit him with a suplex like Zangief from Street Fighter. Yeah, man. It's like when if you impregnate something like that, that's on you, brother. Seriously, that's on you. You know, can't blame a freak for acting like a freak. Can't blame a hoe for acting like a hoe. But you can be blamed. And I get it. We always blaming men. We always blaming dudes. We're always blaming them for everything. But if you impregnate that and allow that to happen, then you deserve the blame. That's stupid. That's stupid. Dudes just wanna fuck. But po child, po kid, seriously, she is setting him up for a life of fucking hardship and difficulties. This is not good. Whatever virtue signal she was trying to throw up, that shit failed hard. That shit failed. Moving right along. Yeah, see, this is what happens years and years later when the kid receives that enough of treatment. Because I bet this little kid was pumping gas too. Bruh, let me tell you something, man. Social media has revealed all hybrid. Like, there are people out there that don't like social media because it has revealed so much. And what we see is a lot of ratchets out here doing their things with their kids around. Because guess what? First fingers that get pointed at, I mean, the first people who get fingers pointed at them in society is the guy who impregnated them. which allows this debauchery, which allows this discourse. Yeah, I mean, Instagram, Facebook, all of them. Up from the norm 18. My only problem with hoes is they still think they old traditional outcomes. Yeah. Man, let me tell you something, dude. In many conversations I've had with females about their whole friends, they always say that the funniest thing is they want the same treatment that the women who carry themselves with class and femininity do. They want the exact same treatment. Out from the norm 18, you're right. You're right about that. They want traditional outcomes. They want to sit on their ass and do nothing. They want a man that work for them 14 hours a day, pay all the bills, fund their lifestyles, and they don't want to do a damn thing for it. Shoot, I saw a clip of a man who was upset because he worked, he paid all the bills, and he couldn't come home to a home cooked meal. The woman responding to him, "I ain't your mama." I was like, wow. And it just tells me, all of these submission arguments are bullshit. Yeah, I ain't gonna submit to a man that's paying 50-50. You don't submit to a man that pays all the bills either. Like you're being oppressed because somebody paid all the bills. Fuck out of here. But this one right here is Wiz Khalifa's fault right here. Because this is their child. South Paul 2K1, what's going on? Says correct. She's setting her son up for failure. She needs to stop twerking in front of him and start reading to him. One thing that I love about my wife, she reads to my child. My child loves to read. Child is very smart. We're focused on her education and her development. We're not trying to project our personal insecurities on her. If anything, we want to take everything that we feel wrong about and teach her not to do it. And that's why it's important that these kids, especially these sons, have balance. Because what can happen to the kids? Son-Husbandry, which will fuck them up mentally. Simping, which is a mental fuck up. Cuckoldry, which is one of the worst outcomes. And emasculation. We talk about emasculation quite often. But I have a little different take than what everybody else would have on that. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Lisa Ann over there crying about people treating her like a sexual object. The irony. Well, I mean, shit, you can't have a mental picture without her having a dick close to her fucking face. So, I mean, shit, why is she crying? Just like when Mia Khalifa did that shit. Talking about, ooh, I've been treated like this. Shit, Amber Rose, same thing. Crying about, how she's being treated by men. I mean, shit, you put yourself out there like that, though. How is anybody supposed to protect and defend you? You putting yourself out there like that? Fuck out of here. Now she a feminist. Ooh, I'm a feminist. That's that third wave shit. They feminists because they hate men. So let me read this caption. Amber Rose told son about OnlyFans account. Mommy has to make money. That's why she can't work a regular job. Yeah, she's Amber Rose. She's fucked too many rappers. So now she's on OnlyFans. And, the kid, and she has said that I'm raising my two sons to be feminist. Which is alarming. Because I don't know, man. It's just these weird ass adults, they target kids for their own bullshit because I guess they feel like, well, if we get them early, they'll be more understanding adults. You know what that's called? That's called grooming. That's called grooming, to try to get some kid on your little insecure page just so you can feel better about yourself as an adult. Hell, why you think they got these old? Why do you got these old cross dressers reading to children in kindergarten and elementary school? That's some foul shit. Shoot, my mother, when I will always remember this, when I was 20 years old, she introduced me to a little realism. She was trying to tell me about women, and she said something about bleeding once a month, and that was the cringiest moment that I ever had with my mother. The cringiest. Because I know she tried to come off as, relatable and, Kevin, you're an adult. There are certain things that you should understand. I get that. But one thing I didn't need was to hear it from my mother. Because I had this image of my mother. She was such a homely lady. She was a mother in all of the senses. These people these days are different, man, for real. They different. And I'm not here to lecture people on how to raise their children. I'm not. But this is public info. She put this out here in the public eye to see. So hey, people like me can have an opinion. People like you can have an opinion. And she's telling her son that, hey, yeah, I get butt naked on a website that people pay me to see, see me naked on. And I'm sure she makes a pretty penny. I'm sure she makes some good money doing that. You know why? Because most black men are simps. And, it's not just limited to black men, there's white men too. White men, they were the first simps. Shoot. Yep. I guess it's something you can appreciate being a normal, good person when you see shit like this. All right. Now we up to the cuckoldry. Bad marriage for life. If anybody remembers that selective outrage by Chris Rock, is like he was talking about this dude who who gets interviewed by the person who cheated on them about the cheating. Yeah, I said it before and I said it again. I used to be a huge Will Smith defender, a huge one. It was like I was like saying, this man, he was doing everything he could for his family. He's the rock in his family. He has definitely facilitated their wealthy, lavish lifestyle. He's definitely done that. So everybody always dragging him, talking about he is simp. He's sort of a cook. And then even with after this August Alsina thing, I was still like kind of trying to defend Will, and I was more so blaming Jada for that shit. Then people bring up the point, well, Will had his infidelities too. I was like, okay, prove it. Who did he fuck? You had women, at least two of them, come out there and say that, hey, Will Smith was too nice. Who did the guy fuck? Who did he have sex with? I'm sure he's had his moments, but she had her moments too. But that one right there was different. Fucking your son's best friend. I say y'all kind of funny with that. I mean, what if Will was fucking one of Willow's friends? You would call that man a predator. So what makes Jada special? Cher took Amber's man, and Cher is pushing 80. If a senior citizen can take your dude, just retire your kitty because it's worn out and become a nun. People used to say they wanted a love like Will and Jada marriage. Yeah, they did. I remember that. Bitch, ain't nobody saying that shit now. And I mean, like, but what really solidified it was the slap. It was a slap. And many people thought that, hey, Will Smith was wrong, but many people thought Will Smith was right. But it's just that the whole, if you just watch that entire scene, it I mean, a lot of people say it was staged because Hollywood is burning out right now, and people who create, you know, they are kind of taking over. So that could have been why that slap happened. Could have been, but the way it looked, it was just terrible. You gonna slap somebody after your wife give the mean mug, bruh? That's letting you know who's in control. Shoot, let me tell you something. The more they put themselves out here like that, the more and more apparent that they make it that maybe that marriage is a dated idea. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that for me, but for those of you who aren't married out here, And I'm saying this for the brothers: if you want to be married out here, good luck. Just good luck. Because I made a broadcast like implying that men were either afraid of being married or they thought marriage was a bad idea because they were afraid of being cucked out. They was afraid of becoming a Will Smith. And a lot of you guys play as hard and as tough as you want. You meet that special someone, all that simp training on kick in. Oh, I gotta protect her. I gotta love her. I gotta level up. I gotta prove to her that I'm a worthy man. Blah blah blah. I gotta be on my man shit. Decide to become a man first. Don't do it because of anybody. Do it for yourself. Southpaw 2 King 1 King right behind him. Now they're saying we want a marriage like Mr. and Mrs. Alfonso Rivera. Hashtag Team Corny. Yeah, man. It do seem like them corny niggas end up being the happiest. Shoot. Yeah. But Will was the kind of guy that, like I said, even like women in Hollywood would say that Will was too nice. He just wanted somebody he could love and please. And he chose Jada. Ugh. All right, Cuck. Let's go to the next slide because it's going to get a little weirder. Okay. Now, this is sort of the emasculation part. Not because I necessarily believe that ASAP Rocky is emasculated, even though a lot of his outfits are somewhat sus. And let's tell the truth, guys. He's with Rihanna. He's with Rihanna. He Rihanna was called a 10 by the late great you know who. Remember what he said. Beyonce is an 8, Kelly Rowland's a 9, Rihanna's a 10. And the reason why I said Rihanna's a 10 because she's a combination of beauty, brains, and wealth. Like Rihanna's almost worth $2 billion, I think. I think she's worth 1.9. That's a lot of money. Imagine if your woman had $1.9 billion. Would you care if people called you emasculated? Would you care about, hey, you know what? Maybe I ought to take the back seat a little bit more. let her do the things, because I basically ain't got to do nothing but get up and rock the baby. Basically, I mean, in technical terms, you're in the position of the female. ASAP Rocky is probably saying, "Kiss my emasculated ass." I mean, shit. People do weird things for money, and people do weird things for love, and that's a combination of both. What would you do if you were with Rihanna? I would say you was Rihanna's baby daddy. Would would you say, hey, look, tell the truth, fellas. You could even leave it in the comment section after the broadcast. Not the live comment section that y'all commenting in now. Some people got to be told that. But what would you look like being married to Rihanna and then going in the house and putting your foot down? Hey, I want my dinner cooked. Tell the maid to do it. The hell you talking about? You ain't got to lift a finger, bro. She ain't got to lift a finger either. So I'm just saying, just think about that for a second. Is your lion pride, your king of the jungle pride, gonna take over? That's why That's why these guys think that fucking a right can solve everything. And bruh, I'm tell y'all a secret. It really doesn't. I mean, a lot. If you fucking a woman good and she can't do without you, man, it's because she feels like she can't find nobody else until she realizes there's several million other options out there. Sure, hell, remember, Rihanna used to date a billionaire before ASAP. Look at Charles D. Curry. I'm finna eat. Said he better have dinner on the table before she gets home. Said, here we go with Rihanna and her wife. Man. But on a serious note, I know we're speaking from a level of people who haven't seen that much money or been there around that much money. Now I can speak for me, and quite a few of you as well. when I say that, you know, get back to what I said before. Money can make you do some weird things, strange things. We're not gonna know what we're gonna do until we see like 1 million, 5 million, 10 million in our face. We can say what we're not gonna do. We can say it all day, but when that money's in your face, what are you gonna do? When someone with Rihanna status in front of you, what are you gonna do? I'm not saying that you're just gonna give up and bend the knee. What I'm saying, but let's go to the next slide. Boom. Okay, yeah, back to this son husband shit. Okay, all you single mothers out there, just do this for me. Just do me a favor, and I'm speaking with you as a parent myself. Please stop dressing your sons up like the nigga that did you wrong. Stop this shit, man. Stop buying matching outfits for your sons. You're confusing them. Shoot, you're raising dudes with no emotional center. These mommy ass niggas, these niggas that's mad with the space. Now, when I say the space on YouTube, I would say like the black space, black YouTube. Someone's trying to push this black YouTube thing. I already said it 3-4 years ago. Shoot, we should have been pushing this black YouTube. Shoot, but hey, the dominating word right now is manosphere. And think about those first 3 letters, meaning that, hey, when I talk to black men with sons, like it's like, look, even if you can't stand the mother, shoot, you got to be there for the little kid. You got to show them things. You got to show them certain things, and teach them some things that maybe your father didn't teach you, depending on what kind of man he is. Because when you're away from your son, you facilitate shit like this to happen. When it comes to sons, single mothers emphasize fashion and Jordans inside of education. Yep. Shoot. But a lot of the mothers, they sing the praises of their daughters. Some of them do. A lot of mothers, they be like Monique on Precious. So stop. So stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop dressing your son up like the nigga that did you wrong. Stop that. That's gonna confuse him. So yeah, let's move on. Now, this is the. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. What did I just do? Oh, okay. This is the. Yeah, I'm hitting these little buttons down here. Okay. All right. Let me bring that back up. Yeah, I see my Morgan Freeman avatar. I was like, I can't believe AI did me like that. It looks kind of badass though. That's an old nigga I wouldn't want to fight. But let me read the caption. Blueface's mom. Like, I just learned about who Blueface was not too long ago. Blueface's mom compares her new man's penis to her son's. It's bigger than my son's dick. And we wonder what is wrong with America's youth, especially in the black community, where all these sons be going buck wild and shooting motherfuckers and fighting and all these emotions because they get raised by stupid shit like this. Shoot, and I don't know the whole story with Blueface and his mom, but I'm sure it's not a good one. Shit. When I was looking for this screenshot, I saw quite a few things. They might just be doing it for television, but if I'm not mistaken, she used to be a prostitute. Roguish the Bill Monger. What the fuck did I tune into? A serious issue that is facing black males that is rarely visited. She compared her new man's penis to her son's. It's bigger than my son's dick. Okay, this is some weirdo shit. This really is. You can chalk it up to Hollywood. You can chalk it up to motherfuckers just be fucking up. Shame on his mother. Now I see why he stayed in an abusive relationship with Krishan. Yeah, man. Jim Jones admitted to his mom tongue kissing him. You ever notice, like, with a lot of these male rappers and a lot of these male comedians, see it, D. Ray Davis, for those of y'all who know him, he say he was molested by two ugly women with foul smelling snatches. And they made him eat it out. They made him do it. And he say to this day, he just has this complex about it. I'm like, yeah, probably. He just gets grossed out by it. And it's because of that memory of him getting abused. And abuse on black boys, that's something that is rarely to never visited upon. And then when these guys become adults and tell their stories, they're ridiculed. They're ridiculed. That's why we have young black males that really don't value themselves like that, because they got little abusive adults in their lives like Blueface's stupid ass mom. This is not something that I ever intended to laugh at. There's an underlying issue right here. You look at his mother, then you look at Krishan, and like I just shake my head on that shit. Cortez Smith, what is up? Yeah, man. Tell you, man, this is how these the manipulation starts very early. But hey, it does get a little weirder than this. See what the next slide is. The mom to some sex assault is common. It's something that we avoid like the plague in the black community, though. What up, Donnie? But like I said, it gets weirder. Look at that. Oh yeah, I remember that shit too. I don't know why nobody saw the Angela Simmons picture with her son basically gripping her crotch. Yeah, I remember that picture. Anthony Anderson, there's this story that came out, and when I read the story, I discovered he first said this in 2017, but the story just recently broke. Then this is the Anthony Anderson quote that I got off Google. My father didn't know how to eat pussy. Anderson explained. I wish my mom would tell me something like that. Well, she's gone, but I really wish, like I said, that other moment that I told y'all about earlier, that wouldn't have been nearly the cringe compared to that. Said my father didn't know how to eat pussy, Anderson explained. So she said, I'll be damned if I send my three boys out in the world not knowing how to do that. So it is my duty as a woman to teach you to do this properly because your daddy didn't know what he was doing. Mm. Yep, me too. Nigga, what? Yeah. Hold on a second. I mean, it really is sad, but like I said, it's Holly weird, man. You know, they done put them kids through all kinds of shit, and it's like it's and that's and quiet as it's kept. Hold on one second. Yep, Anthony Anderson too. Remember, his wife tried to divorce him twice, including toward the end of Blackish. So what was Anthony Anderson's mom really teaching him? It wasn't how to please a woman because he can't. His own wife didn't want to stay with him. Like shoot, man. Look, like I said, I feel like I would have felt weird about my mom talking to me about all that stuff because my mom spent my entire childhood trying to hide a lot of shit. She knew she couldn't do it eventually, but she definitely would not have gone to this level right here. Is there no decency? Yeah, but I used, when people say that women are worse than men when it comes to talking about sex, I think they're right. I think those men are correct. And then bringing then kind of low key dissing his dad, and I mean no telling how early she was teaching this stuff to them. Some things people need to kind of discover on their own. So this let's see, Cortez Smith. She's disgusting. However, catastrophic impact X83rd power. Not Anthony Anderson 2. Damn. Yes, Anthony Anderson 2. Southpaw 2K1. Ill. Say say what about Blueface's mom? This is some Oedipus complex shit right here. That's why I hate it whenever B Dub say to black men, your mama's black. I love my mom, but I'm not gonna date her. Exactly. You talking about your mom? What the like
What
fuck?
happened to staying in a child's place?
What happened to stay in the child's place? I have no idea. What up, Donnie? What's going
What's
on?
going on? Motherfuckers is talking about their parents' sex life. What is going on in this world?
A bunch of weird shit. Like is it Rogan said, wait a minute, his mama made him eat her. This is gross cuz I don't think she made him do it. I don't know how she could have showed him. I mean, that is kind of a legitimate question to ask, seeing that the weirdness within itself.
The fact that we have a culture where we talk about this with our children and this is normal, because I'm assuming he wasn't a grown man. I'm assuming he was more on the child teenage area. And she's sitting up here talking about eating pussy with her kid. We have some serious issues in our community. And the fact that this is acceptable, he felt like he could get up and talk about this. Yeah, no, I made sure my kids knew how to eat pussy. Nigga, what?
Yeah, I mean, look. Read what's in the caption. I will be damned if I send my three boys out in the world not knowing how to do that.
I'd be curious if his sons all eat pussy or if one of them sucking dick. What if one of them is sucking dick? You teaching him to suck dick? He bringing home bananas for his daughter?
Yeah, Hybrid said, please tell me she used a diagram in the biology textbook to explain. As bad as that sounds. So is this so do you see this as sort of a twisted, demented form of son husbandry? Like teaching the son to do something she wish her husband could do?
Yeah, she's not keeping her child in the child's place. She's moving him into the position of a man who she's fucking. Because you don't have no married woman should be talking about sex with a man that is not her husband.
Yeah. Yeah. Kinda, yeah. Or I mean, if she's single and you're single, yeah, she probably would, you know, we sure we had our moments in our single days with these women. But uh but this yeah, this is weird, man. This is cringe. Like
I,
this
I would.
The
I
cringe
would
is
feel
over
better.
9,000.
I would feel better about it if she did it the Boosie way and brought him to a bitch. Hey, listen, I'm gonna bring over Sharkeisha. You know, y'all use these, and y'all have a good day. I would feel better about it that way than her sitting down and actually instructing her son on how to eat pussy.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's way too much. It's traumatizing, as a matter of fact. I mean, he talking about, well, me and my mom got a close relationship. Yeah, sure, okay.
Ain't enough close in the world.
No, yeah, exactly. Ain't enough close in this world for that shit. Like, ugh. I'm like, wow. I mean, she even could be better looking than that, and still it'll be super cringy. Yeah.
But y'all want to go get R. Kelly, huh? Okay.
Yeah, and then like this turned into the man that's begging his wife to stay.
Wait, he's
Remember?
begging his wife to stay?
No. His wife tried to divorce him twice, and
Anthony Anderson?
yeah, and
Oof.
the most recent time was at toward the end of Blackish.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, so did she really teach him how to please a woman, or was she just projecting some shit, like some shame, or was there something deeper and darker going on?
Nigga, I don't know. Those who can't do must teach, huh? He only became a mediocre pussy eater. He wants his sons to be excellent.
Let's see. Yeah. So Cortez Smith said basically she was such a feminine that she wanted to make sure her son was a good woman worshiper. Yeah, just like Amber Rose telling her son she's doing OnlyFans. Say, and she's also admitted to raising her sons to be feminist. you know, yeah. So yeah, this kind of that dude on some weird shit. Dude on some weird shit. And
Everything about this is tragic.
yeah. And speaking of, oh yeah, somebody mentioned Angela Simmons' mother.
What
No,
does she do?
Angela Simmons, like, she's saying she took a picture where her son was grabbing her crotch. I mean, I remember the picture vaguely. Uh, yeah, but yeah, she did that shit, and I'm like,
These women are taking some hard L's, and it can only be laughed at this point. Angela Simmons is real bad out here, just in everything that she do. And who's the other one? Tamara, or is it Tia? One of
Tia
the
Mowry.
sister twins. Yeah, both of these motherfuckers look real bad out here right now.
Oh yeah, talking about some nobody's in my DMs. It's like, huh? It's like, didn't you graduate? But you graduated though. Yeah, let me read what Rogish said. Rogish said, I think in the late 70s and the 80s, when the mothers would walk around topless, I think that was a feminist tactic that these women were being taught now. Further attempts to simp out the sons. Ugh. No, that shit's traumatizing, man. Like, I am glad that I never saw my mother's boobs. Never. Like that, like I couldn't imagine, man. It would be so embarrassing to me. That might have changed the chemistry and the way I thought. And for men who had to go through that shit, then it's it. I mean, I can't imagine. I
The
just can't.
trauma. Yeah. What do you do?
Angela Simmons' picture was one thing, but the 1,000 black women saying they let their sons do things to them was what was alarming.
1,000 what?
No. Yeah, of course, Ted Smith elaborates. Elaborate, but I don't know, man. You've seen a Facebook comment section before when they'll post like an 8th grade dude, and he playing football or something, and then all these females can't come out of nowhere and just start, saying all this weird molesting type shit.
Well, Daphne points that shit all the time. When you talk about a little girl and you say that she's cute, or she's gonna be a showstopper or something to that effect, it becomes you're a pedophile. But when you see these women talk about it, they go above and beyond. Oh my God, he's gonna be my little boyfriend. Oh, you like, damn, bitch, he's 8.
He's 8 years.
There's nothing wrong with it. But when a dude says, "Oh, she's gonna be cute when she grows up," he's a pedophile. Huh?
Okay. Yeah. Well, look, there he is right there. What did Yo Gotti say about Angela Simmons that he waited on her to, like, something to the effect of he waited on her to get done, or or for her to become available, and then he finally just stepped up and said, "Hey, I'm yours." Now look at him.
Wait for it to hit the wall.
And I was like, some of you guys say Angela Simmons is fine. She's something's not right about that one right there. It's not because of what I've heard or her follies in dating or anything. It's just that I just when I see something fine, I don't think of Angela Simmons. Should I probably think of somebody like this, but not Angela Simmons? you know.
Angela Simmons used to be fine back in the day. This bitch now look. Whew. I mean, shit. She looked like her mama. You see her mama balloon the fuck up. She was probably bad too.
I mean, hybrid catastrophic impact S83 power. Angela Simmons is average at best. Charles Charles D. Curry said, "I'm so glad I had an actual mama." Me too. I don't know why dudes like Angela. I never saw the attractiveness. Her sister looks better. Oh, all right. But I don't know. I guess she's the one that's the loudest. So
She did. I mean, they was both fine, but I ain't gonna hold you. Like Run's house, Angela Simmons. They both got knocked. This bitch out here now, she looking bad. Body positivity. Bitch, you look a mess. Let's go sit down.
Yeah. Hey man, I want to take a look at another picture. Look at this guy.
Well, she got him by the balls. He'll be dead ass broke fucking with her.
Oh yeah. Didn't they just have something about him saying that she's taking a month-long girls trip and he had nothing to say about it? Something like that.
Yeah, because he was raw dogging every bitch that came on the show.
Oh, okay. So he's one of those guilty simps that he has to
simp. That if you he said something to the effect of, like, he said this live on the air, like basically his wife was faking it and he had to eat that, and I was like, oh shit, okay. All right, nigga, that's not something I would be admitting, but all right. But yeah, because he's been caught cheating on numerous occasions, and his wife kept him. The reality is, I think that he made some concessions with his wife to not lose his fucking fortune and his kids.
Wow. Damn. So said DJ Envy being a simp is an understatement. Dude is a 5th-degree monkey chimpanzee.
So his wife took a month-long girls trip and he didn't say nothing. Nigga, I would never, absolutely fucking never. It would be a Ray Caruth situation going on.
Yeah, well, but I guess he's okay with it.
Shit. But the more money you have, the bigger the fear is. Because I'm sure he didn't have any kind of real prenup when he got married. Now he's making a good amount of change. That bitch has the right to take all of his shit and get a check from him. Not to mention, he probably has some small kids, so he's probably gonna have to pay child support.
Yeah, these are the kind of people that get private investigators on your ass. So she probably had a pretty good case against him.
It's a wrap.
And then everybody, you need a shoulder to cry on. Oh, how could he do that to you?
Nah, this divorce shit is an ugly fucking racket. So I see why motherfuckers be like, I don't want to get divorced. Nope.
That man said, shout out to Ray the True Caruth. This guy. Dude,
I told my wife, I was like, listen, we ever get to a point where we just making millions of dollars, and I feel like it's an absolute reason we got to get divorced, and I know I'm going to take an L, We're going on a cruise.
Hey, Rogish, can you come up? Can you come up? Or you just watching tonight? If you can come up, I'll drop the link. But yeah. Let me see. Rogish says now his woman stepping out on him, and he looks like Boo Boo the Fool because of her, and because of past stances that links him to being Boo Boo the Fool.
Yeah, you got to make a choice, nigga. You got to make a real fucking choice, nigga. It start looking like you gonna get some money. Leave that bitch. Leave that bitch before the check come across.
Mhm.
Wait, I can potentially get $1 million. Hold off on that check. Hold off on that check. Let me get through this divorce. Then you can pay me.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So let me see. Here's another one. I'm gonna show you a picture that's a combination of simping, cuckoldry, and emasculation. Uh,
You gonna show boys walking?
no,
Oh Lord.
yeah, no. I'm gonna be real careful and mince my words because these are the kind of you know how these social media platforms are. Oh, hate speech, hate speech. But I can't talk about the other two. Look, any man, and he's gotten Father of the Year awards in the past before he got the one from the NAACP for whatever reason, and it wasn't a great reason. Any man that lets his woman destroy his son is not a man to me. She destroyed him. She's like a super feminist. She hates men, and she. What can you come up with?
I
Do you-
My thing is why is the mother being ignored on this? She gave birth to that little motherfucker.
well,
So, huh?
well, is the mother the one that did not want any of this to happen, or is she? You think she's just trying to signal to get
She
people to feel sorry
she
for
was anti.
her? Anti what? Oh yeah, anti doing this. But
Right. She was anti. And my thing is with Hollywood, you have managers, you have PR people, you have press people, you have all of these people seeking to run their agenda, and they'll run their agenda through you.
mhm,
So, it's very feasible that the little boy came out. I'm sorry, it's a little girl now, right? Little girl came out and, said, "Oh, I like boys," or, I don't know what it is, but I'm 11 or 12 because I'm fairly certain it was prepubescent age.
mm, yeah. I mean, but how much do you really blame Dwayne for though? You said that. I mean, you were saying that nobody's really looking at the mom or anything like that. So what is the mom to blame for? Donnie, are you talking? We can't hear you. Said the way situation is scripted. Hey, Shay, it might be. It's like that. Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, the mom didn't want that. The mom was anti. So when you look at this, you have that whole dynamic of the press and the PR people, everybody trying to make an agenda with this little boy, and he's prepubescent. If my understanding, wasn't he like 11 when this started?
Yeah, and this whole thing was like Dwayne Wade was like, oh, he started wanting to be this ever since he was 3 years old, and I'm
How
sitting
do
up
we
there
know
like,
that?
I guess he told him or some shit like that. But
There's
I
no
mean,
3-year-old on this earth that knows anything about anything that they want to do. Maybe the little boy was putting on little girl clothes and running around. That's cool. Kids do that. Kids put on clothes because they're playing and they're playing make believe and they're doing pretend. The fact that you would let a 3-year-old dictate what he's going to be for the rest of his life says something about you as a person.
absolutely,
The,
absolutely.
the
Yeah, I
fact that the
remember.
mother put up an objection and you guys just dismissed it and kept rolling, it's something seriously sickening. Child's not even 18. You got to go through both parents for this.
Yeah, and you ever heard of trans regret?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's when the dumbass parents see the little boy playing with a fucking Barbie doll or a Care Bear, and then they're like, "Oh my god, they want to be a girl." So they convince this dude to get fixed and everything, get transitioned, and then years later, they're going on YouTube crying about it, and they're on self delete watch because of it. Nobody ever talks about that shit. So
Yeah, the gender identity thing is a crock of foolishness, and it's only in the crock of foolishness in the dynamic of people who are coming up with this don't have nothing to do with it. These aren't like the people who come up with these catchphrases and these trends. They're not actually trying to really legitimately change their identity. They're just walking around saying, "Well, call me a boy. My pronouns are now he, they, them." They're not actually going under the knife and getting these surgeries that drastically change their body where there's no coming back.
yeah. And that whole pronoun thing, that came from adults, man. That didn't come from no kids. Shit. That like they won't let natural progression happen because they're so insecure about how they feel about themselves, and that's not fair to the children. Sit up there
Yeah,
trying to trying to force a belief on them because you want to feel better about you being a deviant.
exactly. I have no problem when it comes to people wanting to become transgender and they want to switch it up. Caitlyn Jenner, prime example. No problem with any of that dynamic. If that's what you choose to do as a 40 some odd year old man, you are well within your rights to do that. You and even she has made it a point to be like, listen, I can't force people into believing what I believe in. All I can do is live in my truth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm all for it if you want to be an adult. But when you start talking about children and children don't know what the fuck they want to do tomorrow, let alone for the next 50, 60 years, now we have a problem. How dare you make a child go in and cut off, their testicles, which ain't no coming back from that.
No, not at all.
At the
Not at
age of
all.
14, 15, 16, get them some breast, and then they hit 18 and go, oh my God, what have I done? How, I didn't know any better. And now they're looking at you as the parent, and you go, well, I mean, that's what you wanted, honey. Yeah, be a fucking parent. Don't give your kid anything they want. Let them make the choices for themselves as they come into the knowledge of what these choices consist of, and they're actually physically and mentally capable, not somebody whose brain is still fucking forming.
Hmm. Well, you know what they call that, right? It was a word I said earlier. They call that grooming.
Mm,
You
yeah,
know,
well,
when they can't decide for themselves, you try to put them in the direction that you want to put them in. I mean, you can raise a child or you can groom a child.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. You want to get upset with people who are grooming children to have sex with them, but you don't want to take that same issue with the same people who are grooming these children into making horrible life decisions that'll forever alter them. What's the difference? You
Hmm.
fuck the child up in both scenarios.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just like this. Let me show you the image I showed you, or I showed everybody else earlier. I put a community tab post up earlier with a picture of a child pumping gas, and this girl said all this other stuff. Like, let me just show it to you because I didn't put the other picture. This is, yeah. You see
Oh
this?
God.
You see this? Okay, let me read the caption. This morning, my baby said, and yeah, you about to. This morning, my baby said, "Ma, let me pump your gas. You'll never need a man as long as you got me. I'm your man. I'm all you need. I love you, and I promise to be better than what was taught to me. Hear me when I say this. You won't need a man for nothing."
That child is 3. That child can't even articulate a full sentence.
Yeah, that's that exactly. He ain't say all that. And the picture to the right is his mother. Yeah, she got her Instagram down there. Like this was a Facebook post. So I went to her Instagram, and there's many pictures like this. I was like, and the first, and like I told everybody earlier, the first thought I had was, who impregnated that?
She made that post in order to fuck with her baby daddy, whoever that may be.
Yeah.
And whoever he is, he's taking a L for that shit. But Yeah, that was a direct shot at her baby daddy. I feel bad for that little boy because he's gonna have to deal with so much more than this whole pump and gas meme that motherfuckers is gonna be talking about for the next 10 years, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, that was me."
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Shit's crazy.
I think I think I saw a picture of something like that, like one of these chicks from like Freak Nick, you know what I mean, where like the cop was like spreading her cheeks open, and there was like her granddaughter said, "Yeah, could you please take the picture down? It's a picture of my grandma." I'm like, damn, oh my god, but yeah, that type of just super just trashy behavior. I'm like, listen. That's what happens. Um, this is number one why people traditionally discouraged women who were loose from like having children, because this is the type of shit that eventually ends up with. And number two, it's this is the type of trashy behavior that results when you're always treating women like overgrown children, you know.
Mm,
Whereas us in the so-called black community, we do it under the guise of quote unquote, the legacy of slavery and racism and trauma, and you don't understand her trauma and all this other stuff. um but if you look at the so-called, if you look at the stereotypical quote unquote strong black woman like her, and if you look at a so-called Karen, like there's no difference. You know what I mean? Like they both act entitled and narcissistic and use their children as pawns. The only difference between the two is that with the so-called Karens, is that they'll do it in a more sophisticated, they'll put on a facade of respectability, whereas these chicks like this are just straight up fucking trashy.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is no, this needs to be a cautionary tale. I'm like, this is what happens, despite what all these macho, tradcons try to say. This is the reality of treating women like children, and telling them that they can't be held accountable for anything, and that nothing's ever their fault, and you know, and trying to treat them with kid gloves.
Yeah. Well, we have standards that have devolved.
Exactly.
It's like there's no way, and you can call me old fashioned all you want. There's no way you could have got rid of you could have got away with this shit. I would even say in a year like 1985, you couldn't have got away with that shit and had a child. CPS would have came and got your child.
Exactly.
But they don't do that shit anymore. Like, we live in the
the
time.
women would have been on her ass.
Oh yeah, the elder women, you know, it wouldn't have been no trying to shame women, calling them mammies and pygmies. It would have been none of that shit.
But it's come to an extreme because I remember as in 2000s growing, being teenagers. I remember my mother saying, "Stay away from that girl. She's fast." Hey,
Damn.
listen, I was talking to a girl that was a single mother, and she was gonna give me the coochie. My mother was like, I think she found a number on the caller ID. Call that bitch. Don't you call this house no more." Uh, and then it went from that to I shit you not. I remember being like 18, seeing a girl who was having a baby shower, and she was 15 and like had a baby bump out and was so proud of it. And I was going, what? But bitch, you 15. Like, no, your family didn't say nothing about this. Like, you 15. How are people happy about this shit? But they having a baby shower.
Mm. That made me think they were having that baby shower so they get some free shit.
Listen,
That's what it always revolves around.
but you don't have the pictures of the baby at 15 because she's a baby herself having a baby with the baby bump out all proud and shit. Like, this was something that was planned or was supposed to happen. It's not. It should have been, hey, listen, y'all know Keisha got pregnant. We struggling over here. Can we get some help? Anybody that want to offer, some diapers, some bottles, the nose freedom. We need all that shit. She fucked up.
Mm.
Instead of it looking like it's a point of pride. Yeah, she got pregnant by Lil Ray Ray. Yeah, he's currently doing 2 years, but when he gets out, he's gonna make it rain.
But rain child support. But yeah, this is the current state, y'all. This is the current state.
Yeah.
This makes me sad. Almost.
Yeah, and this is why I say, when they as much as you hear a lot of these feminists and tradcons talk about deadbeat dads. I'm like, no, 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 no. They love deadbeat dads. They love deadbeat dads because deadbeat dads are a meat shield that they can use to deflect criticism away from all of the dysfunctions of the various policies and social engineering that they push. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
because the same people that complain about deadbeat dads are the same people that argue that you know um fathers who want to be involved in their children should have to go through hell and high water, to see their own children, and that, you know, as an actual father, you don't have any rights to your own child, but you should be obligated to take care of another man's child. You know what I mean?
mm,
You know
Yeah, that's insane.
exactly. So, but that's the reason why, like I said, as much as they complain about deadbeat dads, that's just the front. They you can record that here today. I'm like, trad cons and feminists love deadbeat dads
mm.
because they are a meat shield to
Yeah.
deflect away from the fuckery of their and
Poor
abject
choices.
dysfunction. Yep, yeah, exactly. They're a meat shield that they can use to deflect away from the failures and shortcomings of their various ideologies and worldviews. So
So I mean, it's a check, and it's also a check every month for 18 years.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instead, you remember I used to always talk about that generational hood rat dynamic. You grew up in a household where your
Yeah.
mama didn't do anything. She got a check on the 1st and 15th. The food was taken care of. She got a little money from your dad, but y'all felt like y'all had everything because every once in a while you got some Jordans and you got to run around.
Mm,
And what does that inspire in you, right? If you see your mama hanging out all day watching Maury Povich, you don't really feel like you need to get up and do anything. You don't need to achieve anything. And you going to choose that in your partner. Well, this nigga came in and out, but, he can bring me a couple of dollars here and there. That's all I really need. It's generational hood rat shit. And it can just consistently goes on and on in a big ass snowball until it gets bigger and bigger and destroys the community.
mm. Yeah, and
Yep.
the
And like what like I was telling other people, we see these videos of these guys like Scott Galloway on CNN talk about the crisis of young men. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm like, y'all complain about a problem y'all helped create. I mean, let's be real. The same, gynocentric and misandrous BS that so-called black men had to deal with for decades, read centuries. It's just been copied and pasted to a Western men, or should I say, to all men throughout so-called Western society. That's all that's happened. You know,
Mhm.
all that's happened is that all the same man-hating bullshit that we had to deal with, now the rest of so-called Western society has to deal with. You know, and they don't want to just admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to. They're too prideful to admit it, or they don't want to admit that they wanted it to be this way. That they did it intentionally as a way of destroying, breaking down the family unit. Because again, it's that would be a bad look. You know what I mean? It would kind of it would make them look like it would make them look basically evil. But they still want to appear to be virtuous. So that's the reason why you see them doing
Yeah,
all
buddy.
this, talking in circles and, oh, these men just need to step up. It's like, no, 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 no. You need to admit that you lied.
Yeah,
You wanted, y'all wanted messed up families. Y'all just thought that y'all could build AI and build automation faster than the family unit would be able to break down. Because when the family unit breaks down, you're going to destroy your economy that way. So that's all that's happening is that the family is breaking down. Therefore, the economics are slowing down faster than automation's building up. So that's what they're complaining about.
yeah. Big Kev, I like the word you used. The two words you used earlier, cautionary tales. Like, we like to tell these cautionary tales. And I said this before you came up that, warning men so, we can avoid BS like this and become the best version of ourselves. But a lot of this is due to the fact that we don't have any kind of, I would say, penis control. you know, we kind of let our lower extremities do the thinking for us, And we often get ourselves in these, mess up situations. And what has to come with that, along with this messed up ordeal, is knowing how to adapt and becoming the best versions of ourselves to avoid this stuff. Because a lot of these dudes aren't being told these things. They're being told, it's like we're saying it one way, but a lot of these dudes got raised being told another way. And because of that, now
Or even
everybody's
worse, nothing at all.
uh,
Or even
nothing.
worse, nothing at all. Like just they don't get told anything. They just they're just maintained. You know what I mean? They're not taught. They're maintained.
Yeah,
Feed them, clothe them. That type of stuff, and then just let them run amok.
yeah,
So, but again, it's like that's how can I put it like this? When it comes to us as brothers, it's like our main problem is just having low standards for women. Um, and it's not even so much just us having children randomly, because as you can see over the last 30 or so years, the number of so-called black men having children, it's gone down significantly. I think they said to like 55 to 57% of us don't even have children. So it's like it's going down, and I think only 2% of at least sperm banks only have like 2%, black male sperm. So it's like, again, it's like the family unit is broken down faster than automation is built up, and that's the reason why you have these people in the ivory tower complaining. So
They complain all they want. This is what they wanted, and now they're getting it.
exactly,
They're not getting their anticipated desired result. And my thing is good for them. Is that brothers should shy away from this shit. But there's still some stupid motherfuckers out there that's gonna get themselves in these situations anyway.
oh yeah. Well, here's how can I put it this. It's not our job to try to save everyone. Again, contrary to a lot of the pro-black rhetoric that we were given, it's not our job to save everyone. It's just our job to not be a hindrance to those of us that want to do better for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, you don't got
Absolutely.
to be on some talented 10th W.E.B. Du Bois bullshit, but just stay out of each other's way.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's all
Absolutely.
you really got to do.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that I don't like that people say about black man spaces and black male spaces in general is that they try to charge us with the responsibility of saving the whole entire community. And there's two things that is problematic about that. One, there's minimal effort to no effort from everyone else. And why are we asking black men to build around dysfunction? If we build around dysfunction, niggas just gonna destroy it anyway. So why give us that responsibility? And I mean, like, many of us do have good intentions, and many of us say, hey, you know what? Some of us got to do better. Some of us do, but it's like this: when you have a destructive part of the community that just won't fucking stop, then why are you giving us this responsibility? If you're just gonna tear shit up, then fuck you. There's gonna be these guys that say SYSBM and say it more and say I'm going to get my passport. You're gonna create more of those guys, and more of those guys are going to depart. And one thing that I always say is, if you want people to stay, you have to give them an incentive. You have to give them an incentive, and
Exactly.
we're not giving
Exactly.
we're not getting that incentive right now.
Exactly. It's like, and and to your point, I'm like, you talk about saving the community. I'm like, first of all, technically speaking, the fact that the median wage for so-called black men is 45,000. The fact that the median wage is 45,000 for the average brothers that's like working, okay, in and of itself is low key one of the biggest carry jobs in human history. Because again, you got to think about it, okay? You dealt with political and economic sabotage from both within and outside of your so-called community, okay? You deal with a disproportionately high rates of abortion, disproportionately high rates of incarceration. You dealt with a disproportionately high rates of divorce. You deal with the most hostile dating environment, okay,
Mm,
in the so-called Western world as a so-called Black American man. You're dealing with one of the most hostile dating environments in the so-called Western world. Okay, yet you're still managing to make a median salary that's on pace with most of most of the rest of society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not even that's not even including stuff like the academic neglect of black boys. You know what I mean? So the fact that we've dealt with all that sabotage and still able to make a pretty decent living for those of us that work. The fact that 65% of brothers that do work make 40K or more. Again, it's already one of the biggest carry jobs in human history. Technically, you're
Well,
already quote unquote carrying the community. It's just like you said. It's just these motherfuckers are just so goddamn ungrateful that they negate any positive effort that you try to put in to them. That's all it is.
mm. What they want us to be is a bunch of submissive ass dudes. That's what it is. And when you have submission that is really not natural to men, I mean, let's be serious for a second now. Come on. Like, even though we say most black men are simps, that's not really natural to us.
Yes,
It isn't.
exactly. It's like
And when we adopt like ways that aren't natural to us, it becomes chaotic. That's why you
yeah,
got all these emotional ass dudes and all these weak minded dudes that don't know up from down. You
yeah,
know?
exactly. Because like you said, and I like how and I understand. So some people said it was BGS was talking about on Mr. Z's panel about how this whole gynocentric unit was a quote unquote method of survival. It's like no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was always about centered around fucking you over as a so-called black man. It was always centered around fucking you over in some way and somehow. And like you said, is that this gynocentric and misandrist worldview is not natural. It's not, okay? And because it's not natural, okay, the difference between your higher self, who unconsciously knows that the information that you're receiving is bullshit, and your conscious and subconscious mind that takes on the programming, that clash is what creates the dysfunction. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like it's not in alignment with your higher self. It's in rebellion to it, which is why you see basically again guys basically I guess you could call it like glitching in the matrix, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, like you said, that's the reason why a lot of guys feel so depressed or feel like something's off, but they just can't put any words to it because they know deep down in their unconscious mind that it is not natural. But
Yeah.
they don't want to let go either, or should I say, they either don't want to let go or they don't know the proper way. They don't know how to go back to revert back to their natural state of being. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna say something that Dr. Umar, although we feel a certain way about him now, talk about something that he said like years and years ago. You have to be careful deprogramming a person. You have to be real careful with it because they could lose their fucking minds. What you just got through explaining is like how men can't accept what that or they know that something isn't right is a hard time admitting that people that love them ha- would lie to them about the way certain things were supposed to go, and it
Yup.
causes it causes this huge resentment. This is why
Yeah.
you have a lot of young guys talking about old niggas this and old niggas that because they got a lot of dumbass advice,
Oh yeah.
especially like with how to deal with women.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because it's one thing. It's one thing if you got advice out of ignorance. You know what I mean? It's one thing if you got advice out of ignorance. It's another thing is that if somebody intentionally lies to you to cause yourself trying to spare your feelings. Oh no. Oh no. And I'm like, that's what's caused the so-called red pill rage. I'm like, listen, if these dudes were told the truth up front, there would be very little to no red pill rage. No, the red pill rage comes from decades and decades of intentionally lying to them. That's the reason why when I hear like say a lot of these bread tube guys talk about, this like identity politics, you feel so disgusted. It's like you niggas are so fucking spineless. You will willfully and intentionally lie to these young men and set them up for failure just because you think that's quote unquote protecting their feelings, or just to protect the cognitive dissonance in your own mind from that stupid fucking ideology that you cling to, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. Like it's just such disgusting cowardice. And like what Mr. Z said, it's like they better hope, they better hope um they don't get a hold of this space, because if they come into this space, especially as like, younger dudes, with the so-called SYSBM and passport bros, oh yeah, they're gone. They're gone. They
Let
are
me
gone.
let me
You
let
know.
me let me ask you a question since you said that. Do you believe if we do have a younger crowd coming to us, it's our responsibility to kind of steer them in the right direction if they are coming to us with these issues and these problems? Because like I don't think that the first thing that we should be saying to any young man looking to find his sense of self through exposure to other men, which they're probably not getting that much at home, especially if their moms are single. Um, the one thing that I don't believe that any of these young men want to hear is "Save Keisha." You know,
Exactly.
they don't
Exactly.
they don't want to hear "Save Keisha."
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Well, how
negotiate
could
with
I?
these bitches. No, they don't want to hear that.
No. And again, if you could kind of summarize that, what I think what would be a good message, which really would what would be the actual quote unquote survival message, would be to tell them, okay, listen, man, make sure that you keep yourself in shape. Um, make sure that you uh get like some type of income earning skill that can earn you, like, like a lot of money, be it blue
Yeah,
collar or white collar. Okay. Find the best, find the prettiest, most likable and cooperative woman you could find, and you know, and pair off with her. Okay, preferably so-called black, but if you can't find a so-called black woman to do it, just the best woman, period. Okay, and yeah, and just stay away from toxic niggas. Who are gonna try to
So
hate, or who are gonna try to bring you down.
okay,
So
I,
so
I got some pushback, and it's only because I see the dynamic of women telling men that they need to do this, they need to save the community and X, Y, Z. But at what point would you say, should it be, I don't know, common sense, or should the man, or
oh, it looks like he probably just accidentally got
I,
dropped
yeah,
himself.
he's back. He's back.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
yep.
Okay, yeah. At what point should it be, all right, I learned my lesson, because I learned this shit early. Like, yeah, you bitches say that, but you're like, and I remember even having this conversation with you, Kev, to where I was out and about with some older cats, and they was kissing ass, and I was like, you niggas are fucking cowards. Uh, at what point should it, like, a kid or a young man learn the lesson of, all right, I don't really need anybody to tell me this. These bitches is crooked.
Mm.
I
At
mean,
what
yeah.
point?
I
I
mean,
would
at
say,
what?
I would say before he steps out into the world and try his feet on his own.
Right.
I think that wiser men should be giving the wiser advice if they're truly wiser men.
Exactly.
You
Like
know,
you said, right, and like you said, is that you know the best thing you could do is just give them good advice and direction. Okay. That's the reason why, like you have some people that what I would call are quote unquote practically pro black, is in they take practical steps to like actually invest in the well being of the children, like after school reading programs, sports programs, you know, trade school for like teenage boys, looking to get a job. You have people that do that practically, and then what there's people that what I call the commune niggas on social media, they're all about the rhetoric, and like you said, is they're trying to quote unquote save the community, but like you said, all their so-called efforts to save the community just revert back to just the same old pussy begging nonsense. They want you to save basically the worst of the worst of the worst of so-called black women to try to prove your manhood. So that's why I try to make the
yeah,
distinction between the two.
Yeah, I can't stand that shit. Like it's like somehow it makes me more manly if the dumbest bitch likes me as opposed to hating on all the other brothers. Like it makes me special or some shit. I can't
Exactly, exactly.
I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, yeah. And what I say is like 80% of the people that say that they're pro-black and like 90% of the people to 95% of the people in the feminist camp fall in the second category. They don't actually care about the so-called community. Like you said, they just want to shame dudes into trying to save, like you said, the worst of the worst of the worst of so-called black women in the
And
name of quote unquote community.
Blacks don't do shit but run their fucking mouth and get access to black pussy. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly.
mm,
And that's what they consider being pro-black.
yeah. Yeah, the not look the look at the best and the worst of people, even if they're 99% fucked up. Go search for that 1%, please. What up, Rogish?
What it do, y'all?
Yeah,
It was the Rogish.
yes.
Respect.
So, what do you think about some of the things that were talked about already?
Yeah, this is scary, cuz this is really scary.
Yeah.
The fact that it's gotten that bad with black women. Eesh. They can only, you know what? I'm not surprised that they're actually doing this because it was our generation where it was some of the mothers that would walk around braless. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, what the fuck? I used to ask cats at school, hey man, your mom sometimes walk around. Yeah, man, she did shit. That's like, yo, what the fuck? At first you think it's some African shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they were showing you in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Remember Shaka Zulu? The first
Yeah,
time I ever
that
seen bare
and
titties on
Roots.
TV.
Yeah, I mean Roots and that. Yeah, so what I mean. So I figured, all right, well, I guess they was trying to do some African shit, but they wouldn't tell you or nothing. You know what I mean? It's all right.
Mm,
But then now look at where the shit is now. Y'all can only imagine what these bitches are doing. They already got, what I'm saying, Jessica Rabbit bodies and shit, and what I'm saying, walk around with their sons in the super hypersexualized this, that, and the third. It's done, cuz nigga. It's Corey Holcomb world, man. That nigga's a prophet now.
Corey Holcomb. Just imagine if Patrice O'Neal was still alive.
Man.
Oh yeah, Patrice O'Neal. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's the reason why Patrice O'Neal was hated because again, it's like all he did was say, it's like, bro, why the fuck should I apologize for being a man, working hard, and expecting like cooperation, from women? Like, why the fuck should I apologize for that?
Yeah, they want you to apologize to bitches calling you broke that wear blue vests at their jobs, pointing out the underwear section.
Exactly.
Get the
Exactly.
fuck up out of here with that. Yeah, Patrice O'Neal, he was red pill before red pill became a wore out term.
For real.
Yeah, he was red pill in the truest of senses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
Seafood.
oh yeah, and like you said, and and the fact that he could understand that, as like a big dude, you know what I mean, was like even more amazing, because he just had that don't give a fuck energy.
Nah. What it was that he caught a case, and he was the type of cat who was always reminded of his weight, his size.
Right.
That nigga, he wasn't fat. He was big. That's different. You know what I'm saying? He called himself fat, but nah, that nigga, he was a big motherfucker. And so he operated, you gotta remember how he operated too. You know what I'm saying? Mainly Pilgrim Room. This nigga grew up in Boston, cuz.
Yeah, and he was the one that he exploited his good qualities to get women. He said because he was like, "Look at me, man, I'm a big motherfucker."
Yeah. He said, if I had to show you my naked self, that's horrible. If I had to attack you like that. He said, all right, it's the same reverse, bitch. You don't get to show me them luscious fucking titties just because you want to, think it's pretty at work. No, bitch, it's sexy, but you can't say that you're trying to sell sex. And if I ask you, can you suck my dick in the broom closet, on National Harassment Day, I don't want to get locked up, bitch. Rest in peace, Patrice, you fat motherfucker. What you doing there, nigga?
Yeah, man.
See this stupid shit.
Yeah. I bet you Patrice O'Neal and your boy KS is doing an Afterlife podcast right now. Well, I'm glad we left when we did. Shit. Like, the fuck is going on out here?
For real. Looking out crying at a motherfucker. And I don't even believe in heaven, and I hope it's one. Just so them niggas can chill like that, cuz.
That man said,
For real.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like yeah, but that's all it is that even if you want to call yourself being, so-called spiritual, I mean, if you were to look at videos of people like Bobby Hemming and Brother Panic, they even say to themselves, listen, it ain't your job to try to save everybody. You got to focus on your own spiritual growth. You know what I mean? You can't be trying to save everybody. The only thing you can do is give out good information, and if they accept it, good, and if they reject it, okay, whatever.
Look, before Delbert Blair passed,
right?
He said the last thing to do is to preserve your sanity. He said that's the last thing. There's nothing else to do. The mind is the final frontier, and now that is where the colonization was primarily aimed. And
exactly.
You saw how people act now. They're so fucking droned out and programmed out. And I mean, look at these hoe bots. These bitches and them became hoe bots. Everything is hoe about them. They operate on hoe.
Yeah, and that's when when you look at all these religious texts, when you talk about a lot of people say, oh, the Bible preaches against prostitution. It's like, no, the Bible doesn't preach against prostitution. What the Bible preaches against is acculturated prostitution. Like right. A culture promoting it as a cultural norm as opposed to like a niche, right. Market. You know what I mean? Right. What they specifically warned against was putting women on pedestals, especially women who are promiscuous, and number 2, fucking another man's wife. That's what they consider, the big no-nos when it comes to dealing with women. Oh yeah, and then not enforcing any order or boundaries. Those are the 3 big no-nos. But outside of that, it's like, all right, cool, have at it. So. Because again, you got to remember the word adultery as defined in the Bible. Adultery specifically meant, having sex with another man's wife. So they didn't say side chick, they didn't say girlfriend, they said wife, as in y'all are married. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, the thing is, it also
and there's plenty of men that's doing that shit.
Women are going to be loose, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing of why they need, direction and shit.
And let me offer some clarity real quick.
Pussy get hot.
Let me offer some clarity before anybody gets the wrong idea. No, we're not justifying or promoting prostitution, because you know how these niggas are.
Wait a minute, why not? Well, hold up. Why are we hating on prostitution? What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just saying we're not promoting it.
Yeah, like we don't want to. I'm saying, I guess he's saying is that we're not trying to do it as a social norm. We're like, hey, listen,
this is America. You might look. If you can't beat them, join them.
Well, I would argue,
it's already here, bro. Look, if they already hoes, how the fuck you ain't finna promote it? Everything's going hoe with these bitches.
Yeah, I was about to say, like
everything's one hoe.
Everything on hoe, cuz.
I was about to say, that's actually the irony is that, despite a lot of these Western countries, especially the U.S., having these like anti-prostitution laws, I'm like, bro, this is one of the hotbeds for prostitution. Ironically,
for real.
Like when a lot of these government agencies try to claim that all pimps are like human traffickers or all sex workers are victims of human trafficking, it's like, no, they're not. You're only victim.
Was a manager. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Who did all the work?
Exactly. And as General Tito pointed out in his video from a few months back, for the longest time in human history, there were no quote unquote male pimps. The original so-called pimps were what we call madams, or basically older grandma. Women in the exactly
Pimp
older
was
women.
Grandma.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't say grandmama, but it would be like, say for example, like an old
madam was always a grandmother, cuz that's the only reason she was able to hold the fucking, you know what I'm saying?
And you know what though?
That she did.
I wouldn't say so much a grandma, but she was more like an older
mama.
She was an older. She was like an older prostitute, you know what I mean, who like was like financially savvy, and kind of financially savvy.
The madam was just the head manager at a brothel.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
But
she didn't own the brothel. She was just the senior prostitute.
What is her
Exactly.
age?
Hey, let me ask y'all a question, guys.
Y'all
You
niggas
know,
avoiding the motherfucking elephant in the room. What the fuck is her age? Now you'll find out she a grandmama or not. Hey, back in them motherfucking times.
hey,
Well,
man,
yeah. We're not saying she wasn't old enough to be one. I'm saying like you said, the madams who were like the head of like the prostitutes, like you said, the senior prostitutes. Those are the original quote unquote pimps. You know, if a woman was was
Called
being loose,
roosters, the original.
Oh, okay, well, hold up. Don't sell the
Yeah,
pimping, you know what I'm saying,
the
wrong now. Wait a minute, because they didn't have the motherfucking
pimping came from
violence
after
that the shit,
slavery.
you know what I'm saying, that nigga
With,
put
with
to it. Hold up,
the
that
whole
was a madam. That was a madam and a motherfucking pimp.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm saying
It's two different
madams.
things, cuz.
I'm saying madams were around before pimps were.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
that's
it's
what I'm
But,
saying.
the
but the
strong
shit was
difference between pimps
polarized.
and madams.
The pimp was the what'd you say?
Yeah, it's a difference between pimps and madams.
Oh, hell yeah.
Madams, you took your own profit home at the end of the night. Pimps was really out here taking all the profit, and he was managing the girls and the dynamic of y'all ain't got to worry for shit. You don't have everything you gonna need. With a madam, you was getting your little check and going home.
hey,
Exactly.
hey,
Exactly.
let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Okay, guys, in your earlier lives when you were, messing around with the females and everything, how many times have you ran into a freak, or if you ever run into a freak at all, that would stay with a senior woman, like maybe they're one of their older aunts, or maybe even their mother or their grandmother in some cases, and the girls were loose and promiscuous, and the senior and the senior adult, the senior female knew everything those girls were doing.
That's how you knew she gave him the advice and told him how to do it better. It was also the ones
Yeah,
that would teach you to
quite a
cook
few
some
times.
spaghetti, cook you some spaghetti or
Yo,
some shit like that.
holy shit. Wow.
Quite a few like that.
I never thought about it like that, but that phenomenon was quite often. Well, I mean, was around.
Okay, now let's switch it up.
Wow.
Now let's switch it up. Senior female to senior male. How much would go on around that senior male? Little to nothing.
Right.
Little to nothing. And I say that to say that men always get the bad rap when it comes to things like this. Like we're just
No,
telling
you just
all
put a
our
cultural
sons.
spin to it, though. That usually we speak on things objectively, but that was a cultural spin because that shit is, yeah, that is. I do recall that shit, that social phenomenon at least maybe 4 to 5 times. Saying growing up, encountering one, saying one of the chicks, but saying hearing about the others, and it's like whoever she was living with, she fucking with one of my homies or whatever, and yeah, it's. Usually that elder woman of the house, she knew.
The eldest woman in the house always knew these girls were loose and would be dating different guys, and
But wasn't putting up any type of blockage or any type of what I'm saying. It was all right, but they would say, well, long as she do it here, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, if you ever go on like the a comedy skit, King V on YouTube. I don't know if I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of him, a King V on YouTube.
No.
But if you were to just put in YouTube, we share everything,
Okay.
we share everything seasons 1 and 2. They kind of touch on that dynamic. You know what I mean? As far as he has a quote unquote girlfriend, yet all the women in her family, you know what I mean, are trying to get some, trying to get some pipe from him, and then eventually you find out that they're all doing that intentionally, working on behalf of their mom, you know what I mean, as far as in like the comedy skit. So yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, just put in YouTube, we share everything King V.
King V. I'm looking at my phone right now and I'm seeing a King V, like King letter V.
Yeah.
It looks like he was in a skit with that girl, the skit where she was like I don't know, I guess it was their anniversary or something, and he gave her a gift and said he showed her to the door because she was cheap.
Exactly. Yeah. If you just read it, it should be like a compilation where it's like season 1 and 2 or like the full season or something like that. Yeah, but like watch the whole thing, bro. It's hilarious, bro. But yeah, like it be like that. Yeah, like that's how the dynamic was. Like that's how that dynamic is how the original how prostitution originally was. It was mainly a female oriented thing, and the guys came in over like the last like few like centuries. You know what I mean? The guys are just now getting into the game, you know. But
when they
going
needed
back,
protection, then yeah, the thing is they started needed protection from more than just the tricks.
exactly,
And they
exactly,
could do it themselves, you know. So
exactly. But yeah, that's the reason why, like you said, why a lot of these efforts to try to be like anti-prostitution in Western society backfire so heavily is because again it's like y'all go around with these with what you would call quote unquote these blue pill assumptions, that every woman that's a sex worker is a victim of human trafficking, and they're not. I'm like, you're only a victim if you're underage or if you're doing it against your will,
right.
But most sex workers, especially most sex workers in the so-called West, oh no, they're doing it voluntarily, which is why even though we have these anti-prostitution laws such as the Mann Act, you still have these chicks, flying out to foreign countries to get, fucked by different dudes. You have
They
OnlyFans, you
just
have
don't
strip
want niggas.
clubs.
They just don't want niggas making no money off pussy.
Exactly.
Just like weed. You know what I mean?
So all of that shit comes from black men. So pimping actually comes from slavery. Like pimps came from slavery. It was roosters and all that shit. I probably went into it before, but the whole dynamic with the Mann Act, that's Jack Johnson from boxing. That was to prevent black men from coming up here and running these white men's pockets and actually coming up with some real money. That's all that shit comes from. That's why when you look at those old movies, where are they at? They're in the saloon. There's whores everywhere. The mayor's fucking a bitch. He got a bitch in his lap. Oh, the moment black men was out here running around with white women in the 70s and pimping them. Oh hell no, we got to put this. We got to put this to an end. These women on the floor.
Exactly.
These poor women.
Exactly. I was about to say, well, as far as here in North America, yeah, but actually the original so-called pimps were maybe like in Europe, but as far as here in North America, yeah, that's how it began. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, that's the reason, yeah, like why they pushed the Mann Act, because of guys like Jack Johnson, like you said, them trying to be some Captain Saberhoes, and then.
I mean, but wait a minute, this nigga was whooping their ass bare-fisted 20 rounds and shit in the Texas sun, beating the fuck out of them and driving off in that year models of a fucking Rolls Royce with white bitches, cuz they had to do something against the nigga, and the nigga made up a fucking a wrench. Bruh, this
the mini wrench, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was definitely some hating stuff. Because if you look at the original, because if you literally look at the original Mann Act, it literally talks in there about quote unquote the Anti-White Slavery Act. If you look at the original Mann Act, so yeah. So when we're saying like, yeah, it was on some Captain Saberhole stuff, it really was them trying to portray all white women as these poor innocent.
Was motherfucking charmed. He in there knocking them peckerwoods out one
Exactly.
one after the other, and them bitches getting wet in the motherfucking first season and expect them hoes not to go. Ain't that a bitch? Jealous ass peckerwoods.
Oh yeah. So people just don't.
And they gonna try to get R. Kelly with the motherfucker, but that's all right. Corey Holcomb showed he coming home, man. The R's getting out, y'all. The R's coming home.
I don't really.
Didn't they try to get R. Kelly on something else?
I don't know, bro.
They did get him on the Mann Act, basically. They tried to put up some more charges, but those charges, they was like, we got enough.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, well, R. Kelly, I think he's kind of shady anyway. Even if the stuff they put on him isn't true, like all the other fuckery he's been on, yeah, he's like kind of a poor example. Like,
what he do? Wait a minute, what he do? That nigga playing Hollywood games, cuz he can't play.
No, I'm saying
look, that nigga sold his soul like everybody else. Nigga, he get to do what the fuck you want with it.
Hey, R. Kelly might be a case of making his handlers mad, if you're gonna say it like that.
Exactly.
R. Kelly was done in order to take some pressure off of Weinstein and to serve a nigga up, because when you really look at it, we've had these conversations. All these white rock stars openly admit that they was fucking 14 and 15-year-old girls. Some of them have songs about fucking 14-year-old girls. You look at Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent got interviews where he's talking about, who would you rather have your daughter fucking? The guy in high school or Ted Nugent? Nigga, what?
Oh, man, get the fuck. Yeah. Peckerwood, hillbilly.
Yeah, but yes, but again, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, oh. It's just, man. It's just like, listen, man.
That
He's a great
that nigga
He's
can play Hollywood reindeer games just like all the rest of them. Man. What the fuck? What he do wrong? That nigga ain't did nothing wrong except piss people off. But all his shit was contracted. He wasn't doing it by himself. It was motherfuckers involved.
And that's what
and I'm glad that Cortez Smith mentioned the tape that came out in 2000. Yeah, because everybody that was in possession of that tape was kind of in possession of child pornography.
Well, the kind of you was.
Hey, them first two scenes was the shit. Cause the third scene is fuck no.
What you talking about? You talking about the one where he was eating ass?
Hell yeah, nigga. That first
yeah,
bitch
the Grammy in the background.
Motherfucking dog. And the second bitch was fine too. Shit, they was grown women, dog. You know what I'm talking about? But
yeah, the first two were grown women, but third one, and you never really
fuck no.
And you never really actually saw R. Kelly's face, but you knew it was him.
Well, I was looking at the
you saw his face.
I wasn't even searching.
You saw his face.
Yeah, I think that was him with the third one. Nigga, in the motherfucking studio, that nigga pissed off.
No, you see, in that video, he starts the video out by setting up the camera and air humping to get the camera frame right.
Oh.
I watched that shit in the barbershop. I'll never forget that shit.
Yeah, how you gonna make a video about peeing on people? How you gonna make a video about?
You gonna make a video about peeing on people?
Yeah, I was about to say. But anyways, going back to my main point though. So I'm just like, yeah, that's why I just say, yeah, with the R. Kelly, I just kind of shy away from that because yeah, he's a great musician, but it's just too much fuckery. It's just too much fuckery afoot.
You ain't got fuckery in Hollywood, cuz really.
It is a lot of fuckery, man. But the thing is though about that is they waited 16, 17, 18 years to make Surviving R. Kelly when they already had that tape.
Exactly.
They already had that tape.
His fuckery is he was fucking bitches. What else was he doing? He wasn't killing these hoes.
No,
they were still living. They wasn't shattered in the mind and all that, or they family fucked up. The mom, the dad was sending the hoes to him. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well,
Mama and daddies. The mamas and daddies was sending their daughters to
R.
Kelly years and years and years after that tape came out. And talking to anybody from the Chi, they all know who R. Kelly was and what he did.
Exactly.
So, but he's just an example of not to try to target him personally, but he's a prime example of when they try to talk about these quote unquote predatory so-called black men. When a lot of the gynecology talks about these so-called predatory black men, they be covering for him. You know, you hear so many stories.
Celebrities don't count in a parallel, juxtaposed existence.
Yeah,
to average black dude's reality, cause he don't count like that. All right, so the thing that's reaching the fact that they will, so that's fishing and pulling back a fucking tire or a boot, cuz you know what I'm talking about. So it's this nigga. He's a tycoon, he's a baller, millionaire. You gonna get bitches, cuz that comes with it.
Oh no,
why is that so hard for people to understand that?
No, it's not that. No, I'm saying as far as when they talk about his example of when they try to talk about when all these chicks try to complain about these quote unquote predatory black men, it's like no, it's like when you look behind a lot of these stories, I'm like they willfully turn a blind eye or even like enable. You know what I mean? Like the fuckery. And then they want to try to turn around and blame other dudes who ain't got nothing to do with it as to why the children, turn out being fucked up in the head. You know what I mean? They want to say, oh, y'all didn't protect us from these predators. I'm like, no, it's because you motherfuckers are enabling them.
Where is Roger when you need him? Boy. boy, because Roger would say, they condone this. They love doing that to children, and because
who do they tell? Little girl gets molested. Who does she tell? She tells the mother. She tells the auntie. She tells the female cousin. What do they do? Keep it a secret. Don't tell nobody. Hey, listen, let's not say nothing. And then 2 decades later, all of a sudden, all men ain't shit. Well, what about the bitch that told you not to say nothing? Because you know, if you would have told the neighbor, and what did she use as a basis? Well, listen, if we tell your daddy, if we tell your cousin, if we tell such and such, they gonna kill him.
They gonna kill him. Okay, the motherfucker need to be dead then, bitch.
Okay,
that's
right.
how it go.
Exactly.
We don't make these rules. These rules make themselves, and everybody understand that fact, right? These rules make themselves. We didn't make up this rule. It's just that that's the right thing that seems sensible to do.
Right. What was I about to say? I was reading somewhere where they talk about it's like statistically speaking, people who are, child predators or whatnot, they disproportionately target children raised by single moms, specifically because they know that it's a lower likelihood of violent repercussion if they do something to the child. You know what I mean? It's a much lower likelihood
to be taken out, cuz for real, bro. That's just see. This is the thing, though. This is why the community is done, yo, because like shit like that is considered to be a fucking elephant in the room. And any elephant in the room dealing with the black motherfucking community, motherfuckers ain't even finna tackle. So and continue to do this forced evolutionary progression forward. And it's like, yo, there's so much act right that need to be handed out to the community. It's just too much. It's almost like the fucking equivalent to the frequency of reparations. You know what I'm saying? Reparation is so fucking large. That shit'll never fucking happen because it'll break these motherfuckers morally. It'll break their fucking bank.
Man, you saw us with the Bruce's Beach. You see that? What happened with the Bruce's Beach? How they did all that stuff. They won the land back and then sold it back for $20 million only. I'm like, wait, what?
What?
Yeah, like in Los Angeles. Yeah, like the Bruce's Beach. Yep.
And they got their land. It was worth what? 100 and what? They said
$100+ million or like billions of dollars or whatnot. And I'm like, and they sold it back for only $20 million. I'm like, that's it? In California, only $20 million? Man. That's and that's why I think, unfortunately, that's the reason why I don't speak on a lot of this why I don't speak on like a lot of the reparations talk, because I just know whether like even if they give out the reparation, I just know it's gonna be some bullshit strings attached to it. You know what I mean?
There's gonna be strings attached to it. Plus, as quickly as that money come into the community, it's gonna fly out even quicker.
Exactly. Like you go hear a bunch of dudes, all these stories of a bunch of dudes tricking off the money, and you're gonna have a bunch of these people coddling other black people, like, well, we're not used to having wealth. I'm like, man, stop.
If everybody get paid, ain't nobody gonna have to trigger for everybody to get paid. Who gonna be triggering? Triggering with who? Not triggering with other hoes, and probably, but not triggering.
No, I'm saying I'm saying as far as like they're gonna get the money, spend all the money, burn through all the money, and then talk about,
how do you burn through reparations? Cuz I mean, come on, really?
Man, if you're thinking of reparations, in the sense of like bringing jobs to the community, bringing infrastructure, if you're thinking about it in more than just being a check, then you're on, like, I can understand what you're saying, Rogish.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's just a check, a lot of people let their money make a fool out of it.
Of course, but they ain't finna give niggas a check like that, because that would piss off all the other 9 niggas. So that's why the shit ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because it'll disrupt the social factor too much, and they need the social factor to operate at a specific, social worth level for black people, and that's one that can't be too elevated. It can be elevated in individual, slight pockets, but not as entire communities as there are other communities. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Niggas is in the nexus.
Yep.
Niggas in the nexus, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But okay, they say we never offer solutions. Okay.
That's just a deflection, because like there have been plenty of solutions. There have been plenty of so-called black people, going back to Carter G. Woodson and the miseducation of the Negro, where you're talking about more brothers need to be autodidacts. You know what I mean? As far as being self-taught. Yeah. There have always been solutions. It's just niggas ignore them. they ignore the solutions being presented and they just bring it up that shit as like a deflection. So that's why the reason why I don't even I don't even bring up the whole what about the solutions talk. I was like, bro, go back and go back and look at the information that's already been presented. I mean, Neely Fuller Jr., Thomas Sowell, like I said, Carter G. Woodson, Shahrazad Ali, Francis Cress Welsing.
People ain't got the motherfucking people ain't got the fucking attention for that shit no more. Those books are history or college courses by themselves. You have to have you have to be you have to be
but it's like it is no it's not even so much that, Roke. It's just like, bro, stop being intellectually fucking lazy and go look at the information that's already been presented. You know what I mean? It's like you got to stop like coddling. Like,
but this is the thing.
And I'm not saying
to put people on that note, it's
I'm not
almost
saying
like some Shaolin monk.
It's not even Shaolin monk.
Yeah,
you can just make
no,
it's not. You can basically make a basic. You can literally make a basic summary, like the basic points, like one line points, and say, here's where you can find the book. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if you make one line point, hey, listen, you need to there needs to be a competition between public, private, and charter schools as well as home schools. You can make that as like a one-liner and then reference the book by Thomas Sowell called Charter Schools and Their Enemies. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. Like, we're always talking about solutions, but then niggas are always ignoring the solutions being presented. It's like, bro, go read the fucking book. Like, stop fucking asking to be fucking coddled. Like, bro, like, stop asking to have your fucking hand held, bro.
So
like,
what is coddled to you, to those who don't dive into the literature?
No, it's
out there. What is coddle? What
coddling would be treating somebody who's a fully grown fucking adult as if they have the mindset of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's what coddling is. Okay. Like, I could see if you were like a 14-year-old, you know, and you still open-minded, you're still learning about the world. You're talking about people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm like, listen, bro, I'm not doing all this hand-holding shit, motherfucker. Right. Okay? You should know how to read. You should know how to write. You should know how to do basic fucking math. Okay? I shouldn't have to do all the thinking for you, motherfucker. Do some thinking for yourself. You know what I mean? Like that shit's mad fucking annoying, man.
I mean, but wait a minute. If that is what the development of the pool is now, then perhaps maybe there needs to be other methods. Perhaps maybe, you know what I'm saying, they've atrophied what
I'm saying is that I'm saying, Rogish, the coddling leads to the atrophy. Like the atrophy is because of the coddling. Like niggas have atrophy mentally.
Earlier coddling,
exactly, because of the coddling. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like what happened if you don't work out for a while and then you get back in the gym and you're like not able to lift as much as you used to. That's what it is. But like mentally, spiritually,
so much.
Exactly. It's like it's atrophy. Like I said, it's spiritual atrophy, and that's what you see with a lot of these chicks, you know, acting a fool. It's mental and spiritual atrophy. You know, or when it comes to, you know, the dudes who be following up under these chicks, it's mental and spiritual atrophy. You know, and I don't think, like, how can I put this? We got to get out of this like Messiah complex of thinking that we're like one ideology or one big display of unity away from solving our problems. I'm like, listen, there is no silver bullet to this, bro. It's not some grand kumbaya moment where we're just gonna all come together and just be like, oh, we are all one.
Niggas want a party to beat this motherfucker. That's what they
want. No. There is no.
But wait a minute. You hold up. You can't get past that slave ethic right there. That's.
Oh, listen. And again, that's another coddling. That's more coddling. That's what I'm saying.
Ain't no coddling, nigga.
It's people talk about slave. People talk about quote unquote slavery, but then don't want to get into any of the specifics. You want to talk about stuff that comes from slavery? Okay, cool. Here's what comes from slavery. Mass illiteracy, that comes from slavery. Female supremacy, that comes from slavery. Pacifism, that comes from slavery.
Right.
You know, white savior complex, that comes from slavery. Like, if you want to talk about slavery, get into the damn specifics. Stop just saying, oh, the legacy of slavery. No.
Wait a minute.
Holding on to the stuff that
You see how you just flooding this shit? You gotta stick with you have the bullet point, nigga.
Yes, you can make a bullet point.
You attack a single bullet point, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you're not seeing what the current social pool is like for the future generation that you're trying to affect. You're taking them back to methods that are considered, unfortunately, archaic to them, even though they're nowhere near, you know what I'm saying, archaic. That's what it resonates as. With anything that's outside of the digital realm like that.
So, even if you want to talk about digital realm, it's like, listen, you could basically summarize it this. Listen. You could basically summarize this in one point. Listen, bro, especially the dudes. You could tell them, like, listen, bro, I don't care what none of them niggas tell you, okay? The best thing you can do for dumb niggas is to not be one of them, because dumb niggas get taken advantage of by everyone. And I do mean everybody.
I heard a preacher use that in a way. It said something about bro. What was that preacher? Dollar. That dollar preacher. I heard him say that.
Dollar.
Best way to help broke people is not be one of them. Yeah, of course, dollar.
Real quick. I see Mr. Me Too down there. Thank you for the 2 super chats last night. I did go back and look at the chat. I saw that I got 2 super chats from Mr. Me Too. And last night my broadcast was pre-recorded. So, that's the first time I tried to pre-record, but I was Black Manosphere Show of the Week. So, and the timing was kind of janky because, family and stuff like that. So I just went ahead and pre-recorded. So I hope everybody liked the broadcast last night. Some probably didn't agree with some of the things that I said, but I don't know. Fuck it, man. Black men, we got to stop sitting on our nuts, man, and letting everybody try to kick our asses when we know they can't. So that's all I was saying last night.
You're dangerous with them edits, cuz it's like you put so much context to it. I'm like, yo, that's fucked up.
But if you could tell, like, the younger dudes, especially the younger dudes, you could literally just sum it up in one thing. Listen, bro, I don't care what nobody tells you. It's not okay to be a dumb nigga, because dumb niggas get fucked over by everyone. And I do mean everyone. If you could summarize basically what you're saying. So, everybody don't have to be, super, super well spoken. You just can't be a dumb nigga, So, like, never feel like that shit is okay.
What do you think is qualifying as intelligence to, what I'm saying? To that?
No, I'm saying like, you don't have to be super well spoken.
Because I manage a restaurant, right? And saying the youngsters, everybody come up in that piece. And you see the youngsters, and so many of them can't read. You can tell they can't read.
Yeah.
Or you could tell that they're not accustomed to engaging linked information. So, I'm saying, you give them at least 3 factors in a context, they're going to be lost. You have to keep, and we're talking around, from 18 to like 20, you know what I'm saying, 27 and shit.
I'm saying like, the reason why they're like that, again, it's not that these boys, and again, BGS made a video about this, okay? These boys ain't dumb, they're just neglected. Y'all don't want to have to do the effort to actually teach them to get off your lazy asses and teach your own fucking boys how to read, write, and count. Or you intentionally sabotage your boys because you think somehow destroying your boys and making them into these incompetent men is going to somehow make you giving you a false sense of supremacy that's going to somehow make you feel better about yourself. It's like, no, it's not.
So, question: why is it that y'all think the schools are educating them?
No, I'm saying they're not. Here's what's happening, right? The schools and a lot of these moms are failing these boys, and what happens is that when they talk about, going back to one of my earlier point about how tradcons and feminists, they love deadbeat dads, they love claiming the lack of fatherhood involvement for like these academic failures of these children, when in reality it's like, no, it's gross negligence on their part. Because as BGS pointed out,
it's gross negligence because they believe they don't have to do anything. They believe that the school is going to do
Exactly.
all the work. So
Exactly.
I asked you, why do you think they think the school is going to do all the work?
Because they don't. Because unfortunately, here's the harsh part about it is that because a lot of these so-called strong women's don't actually care about their own children. They don't
Hey,
actually care about their own children. They only
and
care
that's
about
not.
them to the extent that they can get money out of them, either through taxpayer
Mm.
money, through child support, and alimony, or through welfare.
Yeah,
Other than that, they don't really care about the children themselves. They just care about the status of being a mom, not about actually making sure that that they raise healthy and productive children.
There we go.
And
true.
again, and that's the reason why they hate spaces like this, because again, if you're telling these if you're telling these young men, listen, go find the best woman for you, regardless of color, preferably so-called black, but regardless of color, that can actually that's actually has those traits to be like a good mom. If they do that, they know that a lot of these hoods are just going to become like a permanent underclass. You know what I mean? And not because of some
Oh,
outside
definitely so.
conspiracy, but just because all the productive dudes are just going to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
They might stop in, visit the barbershop, but they're going to go in and get, visit the barbershop, stop at the corner store, get some snacks, and then go home.
yeah, yeah. And I always said this: we always push our best and our brightest away. With these dumb narratives. Oh, you a lame. You're educated lame. And motherfuckers like, okay, I'll just go where I'm appreciated. Fuck this place. I
Exa-
mean,
exactly.
you can barely blame them for it. But let me call out these two super chats. Thank you, Charles D. Curry. Really appreciate that once
Respect.
again. And also to the Roger Report Live. Thank you for the super chat, sir. And speaking of, because I must have conjured him up because I was like, "Where's Roger when you need him?" Here he is. What's going on? Long live the habitual line steppers.
Long live my brother. Long live. Glad I got conjured. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. I just started listening. I wish I had more of a background, but I just started listening. But I do agree with Big Kev when he said that the thing is the women don't care. I do believe that. I don't believe that the women believe that the school is going to do everything. I just believe the women are going to use this school not performing as why their sons, especially, are uneducated. And for women, that's enough because as far as society is concerned, that's where the problem is going to be directed. If the schools did a better job, the kids would know more. So their image is still fine. See, as long as their image fine, they ain't got to do anything. Now, I think anybody who uses common sense, if you the head of the household and you allow your kids to come in with bad grades, somehow I figure that's your fault because you the head. Because I don't see how you can bring good grades in my house and not be punished for it. But now you the head of
But
the
you got
household,
to
you ain't punishing
understand,
nobody.
Roger. But you got to understand, Roger. She's just a poor, innocent, single mother who's working hard, and she doesn't have time to teach the kids because she's working 2 jobs and she's doing the best she can.
I've always wondered, how could you have 2 jobs that give you standards at 2 different locations, yet you don't set no standard at home? I've always wondered about that. How do you do enough of whatever the standards are for the places that you work that you haven't gotten fired, yet you set no standards in your own home?
Because they doing that for
I
money.
just can't figure that out.
Anything they do for money, they go robot style for that. But when it goes for their, their own, well-being to such a degree, it's really more of whatever they need. And if you ever went over chick, if you live with a woman or you go over to her crib, you would notice. Look at her at the light fixtures in your house, right? They're always going to have fucking makeup all over the fucking clickers. You know what I'm saying? And the space right above the fucking doorknob and shit. And it's like you look like how she ain't aware that she got makeup all over her fucking hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm cleaning, I'll clean that shit too. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? All of this is makeup. Well, all they're doing is using the shit. You know what I'm saying? They become users. So they use you, right? They use their own home, they use their children, they use themselves because eventually they spend themselves. And that's what they run into now. Even though, yeah, they've been partaking of the whole ribbon and want to do all that freedom and sexual freedom and all that old shit. Bitch, you still using yourself, you know. So I don't know. I
Well,
think
you know what,
that they
Roland?
locked on that one.
Well, I just think they're kind of stupid, and we don't say it enough. You know, because this is the way I figure stuff out. If you a single mother, right? Now I get if you got babies, you got an excuse about your stress, and this baby crying over here, and this baby almost burnt their head in the stove. I had to keep them away and all that type of stuff. I get all that when they really small.
Right.
Okay, you gotta watch them a little bit more. But as they get older, and you working, and you got a dirty house, I don't know how y'all think about it. I just be thinking they stupid as I don't know what. If I got kids and I got a dirty house, yet my kids is big enough to clean, why didn't I teach my kids to clean the house? That's work I don't have to do.
Yeah.
So for me, I just go straight to they stupid. Because you got free employees right there. You know what I'm saying? And
that's true.
If I can't clean my own house with somebody else's hands, I'm an idiot. That's how I think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
with children, you have to set the example, though. And if you don't set the example, then it's not going to get cemented. So, and if it ain't already in her, then she can't set the example for them to run the program.
So at the end of the day, you got to be stupid at some point, because at some point you watch these kids get older.
Hey,
yet you never
cute,
said
right?
it.
She's super cute because she fucking and getting fucked. Motherfuckers nothing in her. You know what I'm talking about? She keeping the babies.
You said something interesting. Super but cute.
Yeah.
I mean, stupid but cute.
Yeah.
How can you be stupid and cute at the same time? I mean, that to me that lasts for a little while, but once I hear you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
for a nut, nigga. Shit, what the fuck?
if you want a nigga that want nothing, then yeah.
I fucked the dumb bitch one time. that shit hurt with it. Like, the bitch body was banging, but she was stupid.
What the thing is, a chick that want nothing gonna mess with a nigga that want nothing. Yeah. So yeah, it don't matter whether she cute or not. But at the end of the day, when anybody who's doing something with themselves and they get around somebody who's just stupid, you know, or at least this is how I like to think. When you just get around somebody who's dumb, the dumber she sound, the less cute she look.
Yeah.
You know, but if you want nothing and all you want is a nigga that want nothing, then you'll find a nigga to nut. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Charles D. Curry because I think he was elaborating Roger's point. We don't say it enough, bitch. You stupid. This is coming from a person that has probably said that too many times in his life, but I didn't have enough of support of the brothers around me because they was on that simping shit.
Yeah.
I would actually tell women, you know, one woman in particular, I was like, you know, I can't give y'all enough credit for intelligence around here. And well, I got the most foul, stinkiest look from that woman. And a few weeks later, it was Bone City.
I'm about to say, wait a minute, she hollering at you, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Smash fucking City. That's what I be telling these motherfuckers, man. You can tell them the truth, man, and you still get what you want. You ain't gotta simp. You ain't gotta cut.
Yeah,
that's what makes you a Mac. That's what makes you a Mac. That's what being a Mac is about.
Yeah, that's why I like low-key have that's why I have like a hostility towards like guys like Ace Metaphor and Derek Jackson. I'm like, you know, you can literally tell them the truth and still get the same amount of money. Like, if you a dude who's like that physically fit, you know what I mean? You got like, you know, good social skills, whatnot, you know what I mean? If you're if you're that presentable and you out here lying and scheming on chicks like that, bro, like, bro, you're acting like a bitch, bro.
But yo, his style of church that he does,
and it's like, bro, like, dude, you do not,
so they need an enemy.
Right, exactly.
They need an enemy. So
right, like, why the fuck would some freaking why the fuck would some Derrick Henry built motherfucker have to lie to a chick about whether or not he wants to be exclusive with her or not? It's like your mindset should be, why do you assume that you're the only woman, you know, that I'm interested in? Like, the audacity of you know what I mean? Like,
well, the thing is, he's a grifter, right?
yeah.
And he has to
Oh yeah.
he's selling dreams just like anybody else to sell a bitch an illusion, right? Is you know what I'm saying? It's just that he needs an adversary to fuel his fantasy. And you know, and the fact that okay, we're that, and all he's doing is present himself as something different, but ain't nothing different, and the bitches is still eating out of the motherfucking hand. So I mean, let's say he was a sucker, you know, but I called him a sucker. But wait a minute, if the bitches are still eating out this head like crazy after being exposed and all that, it's like, all right, well, maybe he ain't so much of a sucker as he is a dishonorable black man. You know what I'm saying? Because he has to,
in the truest sense.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He has to, you know, a swindler like a motherfucker because he has to juxtapose himself.
No. I know they're lying. Like, understand, guys like Ace Metaphor, Derek Jackson, they know they're lying. Like, they're fully aware of the fact that they're lying. But it's just like, these dudes are basically, like you said, you know, like you said, that dirty Mac and stuff, you know what I mean? They do that, and they actually create more animosity. You know what I mean? They just create more unnecessary drama and animosity because they're some dirty Mac and niggas.
I mean,
you know, they just do it for money.
Motherfuckers, first and foremost, you seen the movie A Soldier Story, nigga? Like, you know what's supposed to happen with him? He's a motherfucker that you know what I'm saying? Then you know do the monkey jig and sitting there singing for the pale faces. Where's Sarge at when you need him?
I'm gonna throw something out there. Just in theory. Because I ain't gonna say nothing about neither one of those guys. I ain't gonna say nothing about either one of them. Because I go on my way to not even bring them guys up. But let's just say they are lying. They know it. The women know it. Everybody know it. Let's just hypothetically say they lying. Because I'm not even calling them lies. But if they are lying, and the women is eating out their hands, why can't it just be that they see a kindred spirit? Because when are the women not lying?
True. Yeah. And again, that's the reason why this space gets a lot of pushback, is because again, it's like they're used to being lied to. They're used to being lied to and coddled. Okay. And when they come over here to this space, we don't lie, we don't coddle them, we don't handle them with kid gloves. You know, it's not that we're being extremist and talking about, we're not going to say something crazy like, you know, abort all black female babies or anything crazy like that. But at the same time, it's like, we're not coddling them.
Well, I'm thinking somebody who lies on a regular basis probably appreciates somebody else who lies on a regular basis.
Oh, definitely.
That's all I'm saying. You know, like, why wouldn't they appreciate somebody who lies on a regular basis? If you lie on a regular basis, you know, I mean, a race car driver appreciates another race car driver. Basketball player appreciates another basketball player. Football player appreciates another football player. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying nothing about these guys. I'm just saying, if they are lying, and you got this group of women who lie on a regular basis, and if anybody is misunderstanding what I'm saying I do pay attention. From what I can tell, black women seem to lie on the regular. Okay, on the regular. So to make sure there's no confusion. So I'm thinking women who lie on the regular would like some liars.
Yeah,
I just don't see how that wouldn't make sense.
Oh yeah, like what Mr. Me Too in the chat said. You know, birds of a feather flock together. Yep. You're right. And like what BGS said, you know, no winter soldier chip, you know. So that's all that it is. And it's like, I mean, hey, unfortunately, like, again, and I like what Avery Anderson said about this when he said that, you know, lying about so-called black men is not going to create salvation anymore, you know, and that's what's got these people's that's what got their britches in a bunch, you know. You know, they're not going to be able to make money and maintain a facade of respectability, telling a bunch of lies and BS about working class black men.
Well,
And
all
that's
he
what
has to do now is be anti-black manosphere, and that'll fuel everything.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
See,
the
the
anti-black
thing about the black.
manosphere.
Well, I'm gonna say this: the thing about the anti-black manosphere, for anybody who's a part of that crowd, it's the anti-black man. You can stop right there. That's America.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like,
So
that's what I said. That's what I said. I think last night or the night before is
because you're a goddamn genius.
It's not so much. It's the black manosphere. The black manosphere is just a object for your hatred of black men anyway. So
Exactly.
So you choose the black manosphere as a target, which is not a soft target at all, to try to take out all your frustrations on. And another thing that we have to understand is that most of us don't like the truth. We hate it. And when somebody puts that mirror up and challenges our reality, then that causes that defense mechanism to rise up. And, they're going to say all kinds of shit. You gay, your mama black, all this other bullshit that, really doesn't matter when it comes to, a debate and, a monologue and spitting the truth.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. We're always going to face this level of hatred. And then one thing I do hate that people say, the whole thing about how we're supposed to lead. What do they mean by that? What the fuck do they mean? We're supposed to lead.
They ain't trying to go nowhere where a motherfucker from here trying to guide nobody.
Right. What they mean again is they want us to be a bunch of John Henry. They want us to do John Henryism, fight and die to try to save a bunch of ungrateful ass niggas who don't want to do better for themselves, or they want you to be some respectability politics bootlicker, trying to be a quote unquote respectable Negro to white people, do just enough to try to. They want you to be a good person to try to be appealing to white people. They don't want you to be righteous of your own volition. They want you to be righteous only to appease white people.
I mean, that's who their
that's what it is.
That's who their main programmers are. So they're going to be operating under the value standard, especially projecting it to us by the programmers.
Hey, Roger, I'm going to show you.
Sir.
I'm going to show you something since you just started watching. Now, I don't know if you were looking at my community tab earlier, but I pictured this. It was a picture of this kid pumping gas with this really crazy caption.
All right, then, you guys, I'm about to head off.
Oh, okay. All right, Big Kev, man. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah, man. Always grateful for you guys for hosting me.
Word.
I'm sorry. Yep.
Take care, Big Kev.
Be well.
All right. But I'm going to show you this, Roger. Okay, I don't have the picture of the woman bent over, but let me read this to you.
I was just about to ask, is his mother? I see it, and it say it's his mother. But go ahead.
Yeah. Said, this morning, my baby said, "Ma, let me pump your gas. You'll never need a man as long as you got me. I'm your man. I'm all you need. I love you and promise to be better than what was taught to me. Hear me when I say you won't need a man for nothing."
These women are disgusting, man.
Is that what she is presenting to the world? And I'm supposed to believe this kid here did that? Is that what I'm supposed to believe?
This barely 3 kid who's holding a gas pump that is too heavy for him, obviously. Said all of this. Like, hell no.
He can articulate himself that well, huh?
Man, that's the word. Same word Donnie used, articulate.
Wow.
She made this shit up, man.
And she took that at the gas station, too. Look at this. That's the same fucking place. This nasty bitch. Ooh,
well,
boy, these hoes is motherfucking renegade, boy.
And this is why I say it's some people that's clearly stupid.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is there's a clear level of stupidity because you were dumb enough to believe that somebody else believes this 2 or 3 year old or whatever this kid is has something to do with this.
Hoes get desperate,
you put a pump in his hand and told him to hold it.
Make me
You
feel.
did the
Make mommy.
caption.
See,
I
you'll
need you
never
to
need a
make
man.
mommy feel better for the next
You'll never
5
need a
minutes.
man as long as you got me, mom.
No. Look. I'm not.
God damn.
I'm not even tripping on what she said. My thing is, you said it as if anybody's gonna believe that this kid had a part in this. This kid is way too small. He don't even know what the hell going on right now. He
Yeah.
just was told to come over here and put this in his hand, and that's it. She
hold
put it
it.
in the tank.
Hold this and don't
He
move
just
it.
put his hands on it, and that's it. He ain't got nothing else to do with anything. But the level of stupidity you got to have to put this on the internet and expect other people to believe that this little dude did all this. You're dumb because you believe somebody's going to believe this.
You know
That's
what
a
the
clear
scary
sign of
part is?
stupidity.
She probably got a lot of support in the comments, though. That'd be the scary
Oh,
part.
she got support. She got support. I know she got support
That is disgusting.
from people who think that we're dumb enough to believe this kid had anything to do with this.
Well, I think both of you gentlemen know this, but there's a lot of dumb people out here.
Yeah,
there is.
And alarming.
Dirty bit.
I don't even think this is dumb. This is like the people who got put to the side and they hit them with their remedial tag. That's what this is. For her to believe, normal thinking people will believe this kid got anything to do with this.
Yeah.
This is remedial.
Yeah. Hey, Rogish, I'm going to say this one for you. I think you remember me making a mistake on this word earlier. This is the epitome of dumb.
The epitome.
The epitome.
Yo, fuck English, dog. You know what I'm saying? I was talking with a fine ass Ethiopian in the Uber over here. We was making fun of English.
Fuck.
Yeah. Epitome. Read like epitome. Yeah. The epitome. You made the say the epitome.
Like we would do that Corey Holcomb show. I was like 5150.
But you know what? That's what it is. These whole mamas is out here, cuz I remember seeing them back in 2005, and it was odd, cuz it's like, really, nigga, that's a whole mama, a whole mama. I look like she just came from the club and picked up her babies from the fucking you know what I'm saying, babysitter, and had to hit the grocery store on the way home, and I didn't know it was just a thing, you know, want to be dressed like that. I thought she was a actual hoe. I didn't know she was, you know, one of these social condition hoes. I thought she was an actual hoe. But
you mean a whore, a streetwalker?
I mean, you know, pole dancer though. But they, you know, what I'm saying, they be selling that thing too. You know what I mean? But you know, but now they're just social conditioned into the archetype that. They're not even, it ain't even, you know what I'm saying, something that they choosing to take care of some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a real hoe.
You want to know what I want to know? I want to know who did she make that post for? Because, you know, women make posts for somebody to see it. Yeah. No, bro, this is my thing. Do you think the guy who was dumb enough to have a baby with you is really on social media reading your posts?
Oh, great minds think alike. I said, yeah, because I asked who impregnated this.
I mean, we all made mistakes. It could have been anybody, because you know how it is. A guy mess around, his condom broke for real, and now he's stuck. So it could have been anybody, but more than likely, it was a dumb guy. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's more than likely this was a dumb guy. You really think the guy who was dumb enough to impregnate you is actually reading this post?
Yo, this is why the black community is dumb, man. Because this is the future. Ain't no preserving no future like this. Like, you're gonna have to re-educate motherfuckers to the degree what you care for talking about. That ain't finna happen with this. With, you know, with what, the 18, 19? Come on.
Hey, go ahead, Roger.
Well, I'm gonna say, actually, these guys are building up a record, because someone may pull this kid to the side one day when he's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and be like, look, this your mama.
Or he could grow up.
And you
go ahead.
I'm just saying, he might turn around and go in a totally different direction, because these kids is getting a record on how their parents are idiots. Yeah. I know everybody ain't gonna just accept it. When that mirror is like really in your face and you're a small child and you know you still got some growing up to do and you want to be something, you know, because you know when we kids, the sky's the limit. And this was somebody gonna put in front of you. Say,
Well, look,
this your people, man.
Back in the day, they stopped hoeing when their kid could pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And could learn. Now they be hoeing right with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look with the whole Blueface mama and shit and all that. Bro, this shit is done. Oh, this is Sin City. You know what I'm saying? The movie.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Sons. What?
Cuz
it's pretty dark shit, man.
that is disgusting. Look how she looking at the motherfucker.
This can't be real.
Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, you know what else can't be real? Let me show you this. Yeah, you're gonna love this. Go ahead,
bro. I mean, what explanation does she have where when did she see her son's dick? How old was he? And what occasion did you need to see his dick? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole lot wrong in these few words. Because I need to know how old he was where you had to see his dick for the last time.
But look at the caption though. Blueface's mom compares her new man's penis to her son's. It's bigger than my. Like, why are you like the shit fucked up all the way around?
I'm thinking somebody must just put a caption up there, and this ain't got nothing. This can't have happened in real life. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because nothing surprised me at this point. Hey, but this can't be real. This is just somebody putting something up. It's gotta be.
Hey,
gotta be.
I be telling y'all, look, I ain't a Christian, cuz, but I be hoping that the Christian God is actually real just to see the shit go down, cuz. Even if I ain't believe I get swept up in it, just to know that correct. It's sick shit. Somebody, yo, this is stupid. This is nuts. This is stupid. This is crazy. This is.
Well, I'm giving some benefit of the doubt here on this because this is the thing. This is the thing. When did she actually ever say this? When is the last time she seen his dick? I understand the mother gonna see her son dick at some point, but that's supposed to stop when they little kids. And then when did she say it and who did she say it to for somebody to know to even make this a caption? That don't mean it ain't real, but my thing is a lot of hoops had to be jumped through for this to be real.
Yo,
so I really hope it ain't.
He went to high school with her. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, but still, when is the last time you seen your son's dick? And then when did you make this statement and who did you say it in front of?
Shit, she said
not saying you didn't say it, but you know, ain't no telling what some of these mofos do, especially if the son got money. So you know what I'm saying? So ain't no telling. But Lord have mercy. I just really hope this one is I really hope it was just some sick person just
Lord have mercy, no.
This is a whole lot wrong with this if this is real.
Bro. And what don't that count for a stoning in the Bible? Is that worth stoning?
I don't know if that was
stone that witch. Stone it.
I don't know if it qualified for a stoning, but at least a pebbling.
A little bit of pebbling.
I ain't gonna get no real stone. I'm gonna get some real small.
Ping the bitch, you know what I'm saying? Ping.
I'm gonna throw gravel at her.
Chinese finger star that hoe, you know what I mean? What the fuck?
What else did you want me to see, bro? Because this is I don't even know what I just want to believe this is not real. I just really want to believe this is not real.
You know what I'm saying? The word is too much.
Okay, all right.
Text.
Okay, well, look at this.
Oh fuck, I forgot about this shit.
Oh man,
Rose.
My father didn't know how to eat pussy. Anderson explained. So she said, "I will be damned if I send my 3 boys out in the world not knowing how to do that. So it is my duty as a woman to teach you to do this properly because your daddy didn't know what he was doing."
You nasty bitch.
This can't be real. Well, it's a date on this thing. This ain't real, man. Like somebody just making up stuff now. It's gotta be.
Bruh, Google is my friend and Google is your friend too. Like he said this back in 2017.
I'm going to church on Sunday, cuz for real.
And it's just hitting the news. And don't forget, this is the man whose wife tried to leave him twice.
Bro, this better have been in the comedy routine or something. Like, I don't know what the hell to even think about. Come on, man.
Yeah, you see,
Y'all niggas is just embarrassing at this point. This is real.
yeah, this was quoted on February 9th, 2017, and they just recently put out an article about it. Recently. Like, these people been on
Bro,
some weird shit for a while.
That's just gross, cuz. See, but that's who Hollywood look for, though. Notice that the motherfuckers in Hollywood, right? They show with the whole MK Ultra shit. They be grooming these motherfuckers, and that's who they look for. You know what I'm saying? Look for motherfuckers that been
bro,
touched up by their parents, man.
Okay.
first of all, if this was a real event, the first thing you supposed to come to terms with is that this is a real event that we supposed to take to the grave with us. Why the hell would you make a public statement about something like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just weird people, weird fucking people. He's saying that he has a close relationship with his mom, and look, I could barely talk to my parents about stuff like weed. You know, this right here is the cringiest of the cringe.
Yeah,
Bro, this is the sickest thing that I've heard in a long time. Because this makes a nigga think about his mother's pussy. Like, bro, why are you talking to your mom about pussy? Or this is just insane here, bro. Like, come on, you talking about, you know how much is being implied with these statements? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just no common sense, no moral compass whatsoever. Just this out of it. At this point is I don't know, is women can do whatever the fuck they want to do and they can just get away with it. This is why they're out of control. Is like you said, we didn't tell them that they're stupid enough.
See, these are old bitches, cuz they been on the bullshit.
Stupidity doesn't have an age, and it's been proven time and time again. A lot of these women that are being in these spaces, like talking about black men, these some 50, 60 plus bitches. The little mohawk looking bitch, like that, like tried to pull my daughter's baby pic and drag it on Facebook. That bitch was 55 years old.
Damn.
55. Damn. I'm like, you too old for this shit.
30 bitch.
You too old for this shit. Like, your eggs are dried up. You look like 4 fucking miscarriages. You're too old for this shit, bitch.
Yes.
You know what, bro? I got to admit, I'm a person that I say, come on, like it's like, you know, it's hard to embarrass a person. You know, at least that's how I think. You know, it should be hard to get embarrassed, but Lord, if my mama said this, like, when do you get embarrassed? Like, if this don't do it, what's gonna do it?
Yeah. This is traumatizing. This can cause actual trauma. Like, you know, depending on the kind, like, really, it's depending on the kind of people it is. But I would have been traumatized. My mom was like, "I'd be damned if you go out to this world and you don't know how to do this. You don't know how to eat some pussy." Afro National, thank you.
Okay, so
long live.
Long live.
What the hell did you do about it? Is it because that's the question? What the hell did you do about it? Did you go get them some hoes or something? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real. How did you accomplish the task of making sure that understanding that
who was it that said it earlier? Donnie said it'd probably been cool if it was she went the Boosie route, just got him a hoe and just be like, "Hey, have at it, you know, have a good time." You know.
All right. I mean,
yeah, but you talk about eating pussy, that ain't even a safe route.
Yeah. What you say? What you say? You got to pull back the labia, the flavia. What?
Yeah.
How
never.
Go ahead.
No, I ain't mean to cut you off, but I'm just thinking like
made them motherfuckers look in her pussy, cuz. She probably sat there, cocked her motherfucking legs over, and made her young sons, you know, what they call that? Gynecologist. You gonna pretend you're a gynecologist and all that old bullshit.
Y'all gonna be famous one day. You might as well go and get used to the behavior. That shit is gross.
What your daddy say? What that nigga name is?
Daddy probably.
The daddy probably. He didn't know.
Oh well, yeah.
There's no way in the world he knew.
Man, look, he could be one of them
Yeah.
Cuckoldry guys, you
Yeah.
know.
Hey, Tony, what your daddy say, Tony?
Nigga,
Hey, yeah, man.
ain't nowhere in the world she made it to this age and she done put that out there. Cause keep in mind, y'all, this is saying something about the man too. Cause it's saying that he ain't performing like he needed to. So this is insulting to him on top of everything else.
Exactly.
He can't know that this happened.
Exactly.
Shit, he know now.
Yeah, he know, and it's all out there for the world to see. Now everybody looking at him that know him at least locally. Man, you know how to please your wife. Shoot,
damn.
Bro, I'm just, even if that was an actual problem, to have this come out to the public, man, come on now. And you know what Bill Burr famously said? Oh, it's never no reason to hit a woman. He was being sarcastic when he said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we found a couple more right here. We done found a couple more. Why are you even telling your sons this in the first place? Because guess what? If you was concerned about this, you didn't even have to bring his daddy into it.
All right. We've been talking about son-husbandry, simping, cuckoldry, emasculation, and I'm gonna have to wrap this up in a few minutes. But do y'all want to see a recovered simp? Do you want to see some? Yeah, huh?
Of recovery.
Sure, I'm curious.
A rehab simp.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Recognize this.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm not saying he rehab because he's playing in the snow or anything.
Oh, that's his lady. That's his lady.
Yeah, that's his lady. That's his now lady. You know, his wife just tried to take him for a lot of money in the divorce.
That's that same bitch right there.
No, not her. No,
okay.
it was his actual wife.
Oh, okay.
She tried to take him in his divorce.
I mean, well, shit, that's what they do. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is one of the biggest simps in R&B music history.
Oh, he definitely saw one of the biggest. I think he's on Simp Olympus.
Simp Olympus.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know enough about him to say that. I just know he's a great songwriter, and I just leave it at that. I don't know what's going on in his personal life.
Oh no, nobody selling his skills short. No, he definitely
he's very talented.
Yeah,
ghostwriting.
No, I'm just saying, just because he wrote that stuff doesn't necessarily mean that that's what he was doing or he believed in it. You know, he could have just been writing songs. I hope he was just writing songs.
That's what I hope. That message was real simpy though. I mean, if babyface music help get you some ass, then hey, you know what? It did something positive. But I'll pay your rent. I'll wash your car.
I got pussy off of Shy. I got pussy off of Jodeci.
The thing is, as a person who pursued music for a time, you got to put stuff out there that you think people want to hear and people gonna buy. He was putting stuff out there that was gonna get purchased. That's the one thing I know about the brother. He put out what was gonna sell. Point blank, period. Now he could have been living all that stuff too, which I would hate to believe that he was living his lyrics because he got some hella lyrics out there. You know, some of them songs. So I would hate to believe that he was this came off experience.
Keep on whipping.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, when we were young, I didn't know he was talking about pussy whip though. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's whip it, baby. Let's whip it right. I'm thinking Daz Band type of whip. Yeah, I'm talking about.
Remember that singing duo, them two fat guys named Men at Large?
Yeah, I remember that.
The one that said,
I'm so alone.
Remember the song before that? Remember the song before that? It was called. The song before that was called "Use Me."
Oh shit!
Use me, use me, use me, use me. And then the very next song, I'm so alone. Wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that
got used and left. Like,
boy, they was
wait a minute.
Like a motherfucker.
I'm so alone could have been about his mother. So, but like you know, so that but you could see the irony.
Yo, if you re-listen to "If I Was Your Girlfriend" by Prince, that nigga was macking the whole time, cuz.
Yeah.
People think he was, you know what I'm saying, doing some bitch shit. Listen to that shit. That nigga was macking.
But see, the thing is, people don't understand about Prince came out in the time of androgyny. Like, dudes were getting away with dressing all kinds of ways, wearing eyeliner and every goddamn
Get
thing.
much pussy in the
I mean,
process.
getting the most. Charlie Murphy, I don't believe he was exaggerating. The guy dressed like a bitch got the most women.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Wait a minute. That was when did Prince start that type of dressing more like a female to get women? When did he start that?
Purple Rain.
About what year was that?
No, that was
About
late
what year was
70s.
that?
After he ran into after he toured with Rick James.
I want to be
Right, but
and Rick, the super
and Rick James was doing and Rick James was doing it before him, right?
Exactly.
And we still got people doing it now, right?
Well,
and your subject is about emasculation and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Black women love to see a nigga dressed like a woman.
Like a bitch.
That's one of the surest ways to get some pussy.
Wait a minute. I don't think Rick James was dressing like a bitch. He was just freaking in the motherfucker. I think what it was that Prince tried to get into the freakiness, but he stayed with the pilgrim side of the game. But Rick James shit was funk led.
But still, we're missing something. It was okay to dress like that during that time. It wasn't considered dressing like a bitch. Right now it is.
Yeah. Well, a lot of shit that they did back then. You look at some old Isley records, you like, what the fuck y'all niggas swearing?
Man, yeah, they always putting up that Isley brother picture with all of them in tights and shit. And they talking about, y'all talking about skinny jeans. I'm like, yeah, don't talk about skinny jeans. These dudes getting more pussy than you.
Who wait a minute. But see, that's the thing though. Who was the audience for the Isley brother? Who was their audience?
What you mean?
Women,
black
right?
couples. Black couples.
Women.
I mean, guys like them too. We like good singers as men too, but their main focus is bringing the women in. You bring the women. That's it's the game, the record, and she been playing. You get the women's ear, and you get the guys to pay for it. Right. That's what they've been doing. But anybody who does something that's looked at as more feminine, when has a black man really ever run into women having a problem with you doing something feminine? When do we see this?
On Facebook,
I ain't never seen this.
Like
no,
I know social media is a different animal than actual real life.
Well, I'm saying I ain't never hear a man I ain't never heard a woman get pissed off a dude who had a pink shirt on. Now I know when we was young, everybody knew pink is for girls, blue is for boys. And then as we got older, you know what I'm saying? I see niggas walk in the room with pink on. I ain't never heard a woman have a problem with it.
Well, hold up, wait a minute. Pimps used to rock pink under a motherfucking gray suit, cuz you know what I'm talking about? So,
bro, I don't care what man. He could be a boxer. If the nigga does anything, if a nigga does anything that is considered feminine, I do not see women having problems with it. Mm-hmm. Not collectively. Have I seen an example here or there? Sure. You know what I'm saying? I know.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? I've never seen women collectively have a problem with any guy doing anything in any profession in any way if it was considered feminine. I've never seen women have a problem with that. Not black women. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, don't make no difference whether you was a pimp. I don't care if you was a mechanic. You do something feminine. I ain't seen women have no problem with it. Men, we different. We'll say something. We'll joke about it. We'll, shun you. You know what I'm saying? Tell you can't even kick it with us no more. We gonna react.
Right.
I don't see women reacting to no man doing anything in a negative way because he did something that was considered feminine. When I was growing up, braids used to be for girls. When boys started putting braids in their head, because you know what I'm saying, you had all these single mothers braiding their kids' head, then it just kind of stuck.
Yep.
Ain't never seen no women having problems with it. I seen them pink shirts start coming on guys on a regular basis. Then it turned into pink suits and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can name just about anything. And I can tell you, I seen guys do it. Something that was considered feminine. You know what I'm saying? Guys start putting barrettes in their hair. Women didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah, the 2 earring thing, that shit threw me. I'm like, all right, damn.
Women didn't have no problem with that.
Okay. Yeah, so on your neck of the woods at the time when guys getting earrings, did they also think that both earrings was kind of,
that was a separation. First of all, guys didn't even wear earrings. Then when it became cool for guys to wear earrings, it was 1 ring, not 2 like the girls.
Right.
But then when guys start wearing too, women ain't had no problem with that. Women ain't never had a problem with guys doing. Think, bro, you tell me, what have you seen change over the years that was used to be considered something for the girls or the ladies, and then men started doing it, and women had a problem with it?
Never.
Because I don't think exactly. I don't think that thing exists.
In fact, yeah, they support it. Like they support it like a motherfucker. I mean, that's why you got all these little movements today that are female led that is for the feminization of men.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even when it comes to Prince thing. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Prince. I know that dude was a Mac and all that good stuff. But he did all that stuff for a purpose. We know the man was doing stuff that's considered more feminine than other guys, but women had no problem with it.
Right.
You can say whatever you want to as a man, but the women didn't have no problems with it.
Yeah, then yet when things don't work out and go in their favor, they'll project all this nonsense. Like, you know, they live in this reality. Like, if I think it's supposed to work, and it's not like that. But listen up, fellas. Like, let's get a couple final words in about this.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave off on now. Long live the Bishop Line Steppers. Thank y'all for the sharpening. Peace.
Long live Rogish. Thank you once again, bro. All right, Roger.
All right, take care. Take care.
The Roger Report.
All right. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of final words, y'all. But for those who are listening now, unfortunately, I'm still caught up in some stuff, and family's involved. So I'm not gonna be on the air tomorrow morning. I had to miss Monday morning show. Looks like I'm gonna have to miss Tuesday morning show as well.
The best show on social media. The best show on social media for weekday mornings. We got to miss it, bro. Come on, man. But we get it, man. Sometimes family stuff can do that, man. And family is very important. And the dude that I know Roger to be, he a real good dude, man. So, you know, I fully expect that from someone like him. You know, just to be there for families and friends and such. I mean, you know, real good guy. You know, like I said the other night, sort of like a brother. So if you mess with Roger, you kind of messing with me too. So I ain't like, you know, don't fuck with Roger. It's like,
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, but man, my final word is this. Look, if it takes looking at, like, you know, there is a female problem, and, you know, it goes beyond trying to, you know, ridicule and trying to argue them down to where they act right. Their children are being affected, especially our sons, you know. And one thing that I always tell brothers do is to be careful, you know, who you bear children with, because those can be the results. You're doing more harm than good, brother. And, you know, and another thing, we all know that we don't have as many rights as they do. As men, we don't have as many rights. So we're not allowed to operate in the sense of fuckery. And I wouldn't recommend that we as men do that anyway. We have to be, you know, our better selves when it comes to things like this. And, you know, stop not only, you know, stop having babies by stupid bitches. You know, it's just like Roger said, tell them they stupid. They're not used to hearing that. That's why they keep doing it. And then they got a society that justifies every little stinky move that they make. They don't want great for this community. They don't want great for our color of people. And when we fall into that trap, we're doing exactly what they want. And if we would have identified this problem, like maybe I would say 2-3 decades ago, you know, we probably would have been on the road to recovery. But this shit's still happening in 2023. This is why you got a lot of people a lot of brothers, especially a lot of black men taking their talents elsewhere, because they see how dark and how cringy and how grim things are. And this broadcast, you know, I did it to make a point. But, you know, when I reflect on the conversations that were had within this broadcast, I did a really dark fucking broadcast. And, you know, it just, and my thing is, you know, I got a young child. You know, children shouldn't be affected by our bullshit. You know, and the fundamental problem with the boys is just this. You know, you got them. They trying to cram these little dudes into son husband positions. They're only thinking about themselves when they raising these boys, and then when they grow up with no emotional center, and they grow up and start doing rash things, they like committing crimes. Nobody wants to visit the upbringing that these kids are having. So I'm just trying to give you guys a clue as to what may be going on. So that's pretty much it for me. That's pretty much it for me. I thank everybody for coming through. The habitual line steppers, Donnie and Roger, Big Kev with some numbers, Roguish, Chaos Rain. Thank y'all for coming through, man. Really appreciate the support, and also thank you for the super chats as well. Really appreciate that support too, and I will see you guys on the next go round. Long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. And when you don't quit, my brothers and sisters, you will definitely win. Peace out.